T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is up? What is up, everybody? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? As you guys can see, I have got my co-pilot, little mama, on deck. As soon as she heard me sit down in here and start fiddle farting around, she had to come in. She couldn't avoid it. She couldn't help herself. Oh man, look at busy. What a day, girl. It's been a couple days. I'll get into that though. Before we do, let's do our little roll call as per usual. Say hello to everybody. There is Hekate's daughter. How are you, darling? Good to see you. Hey, I think this will be the first time you've caught alive if you're still hanging about. Hi, Granny Noodles. How are you? Tragically Delicious. Ever so wonderful to see you as always. Hi, Grateful. How are you? Hi, Yazzie. Rose Thorn. Nice to see you, honey. Hi, Lainey. Oh, and there's Camby. Hi, Camby. How are you? Hi, Pink Cactus. Leona. Front and center. Good to see you, girl. Mouse Toes, how are you? Hi, Shelly. Hey, Heidi. Elizu, how are you? What up, girl? What up? There's so much in relation to what up. So much other than the standard foolishness. Oh, baby. I'm fit. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Kalari, but I'm doing all right. Oh, thank you, Grateful. That's so sweet of you. Hi, Krista. How are you, darling? You having a good day so far? We're gonna touch base on that. So much. So let me tell y'all, it's been a rough couple days for me. Man, holy moly. I finished up my days off last Friday, with yard work, obviously. And this time I was using gravel, so hauling big ass bags of gravel around, doing my thing. And I knew I was going to be sore, which was fine. That's what happens when you use muscles that you don't regularly use, Come Saturday morning, woke up sore as always. Hit myself with some ibuprofen. Threw me a lidocaine patch on my back just to make sure I didn't have no problems with my back muscles. And I ended up with a dude who is 6'3", 280 pounds on the floor. And he might as well have a lead weight in his butt, because that's about how much effort he helps in getting himself up, unfortunately. And I spent the entirety of Saturday from that point forward having muscle spasms in my back. And basically just walking around like a little old woman Sunday, and I took it easy yesterday and today, because I was just like, okay, I don't want to re-aggravate it going headlong right back into project work. So I'm taking some time. So I fiddle farted around the house. I had to get some stuff for the cats so that I could, clean their litter boxes out and get them all squared away. I go to Target to get my pickup order, and in the time frame that it took me to glance down at my backup camera and then look down at my hand to actually verify that I'm in reverse, because I always do that. There's something about, I get nervous. And for me to back up, the guy directly across from me backs right behind me. So I ended up hitting him at the back quarter panel of his truck. Exact same truck as mine, exact same color. It was a fucking mess. And I hit him, backed into him, and as soon as I looked over, and all I could see was what looked like one of the shopping carts. You know how the Target shopping carts are red X'd. And that's what it looked like. And I proceeded to lose my crap and started crying, because all I could think is I've just hit somebody pushing a shopping cart. Now, for those of y'all that y'all kind of sort of know, that sort of circumstance is how my mother passed away 2 years ago. Someone backed up over her. And that was the first thing that just shot straight to the front of my mind. So that's why I lost it. But I pulled forward, I hopped out, and I run out there, and the guy driving the truck had already gotten out of the truck, and he was fine. And he was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I hit you?" And he said, "Yeah, you hit me." And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. Are you fine?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "I am so, so sorry." And I told him, I said, it is entirely my fault. We can either exchange insurance info, I said, or we can do the police report, whichever one you want to do. So he decided that he wanted to do the police report, and we stood there for a while waiting for the cops to get there. And I'm going to tell you, I was sitting there like holding my head and was like trying not to lose my shit. And he's like, "Look, it's fine. You didn't do any major damage." He was like, "I don't know exactly what happened." And I was like, "Well, I'm going to tell you the truth." I'm like, I looked at my backup camera for a second. I looked down to verify that I was in reverse. I said, "It's just a habit." I said, "But I usually go right back to looking at my backup camera as soon as I start moving again." I said, "And for some reason, and I cannot tell you why, but I didn't." I said, "Honestly," I said, "all I saw was what looked like a shopping cart." I said, "Was there a shopping cart between me and you?" And he said, "No, there wasn't." And then we started looking at the truck, and my backup camera actually hit his tail light and not the light, the light, and it broke it. So underneath that red light, there's white, and it's got little red X's all over it. And that's how that I got that red Xing that made it look like a shopping cart. But I explained to him, I was like, "Look," I'm like, "I am sorry. The only reason I asked that question is because all I could think is that I have just run somebody over." And then I started crying, and I told him, and I'm like, "That's what happened to my mom 2 years ago." I said, I said, all I could think was, "Oh my God, I have just hurt somebody." And he was like, "Well, you didn't hurt anybody. We're both fine." He says, "My truck will be fine." He says, they'll probably just pull this little dent out. He says, "And then you'll have to replace the cover for my light." He says, "It's not going to be a huge ordeal. So it's not anything out of the way, you know." But we stood there for the longest time talking. The cop did finally show up and wrote up the report. And then I came my sorry ass right back home. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to stay my sorry ass at home for a little bit, you know. It's just, oh man, it's just been a rough couple of days consecutive. You know what I mean? We're just stupid as shit happens, and you're like, "God, why is this happening?" You know. But you know, I'm of the mindset that, you know, now everything is fine. I was just a little worked up over the last couple of days, because it seems like if it kind of could go wrong, it kind of did go wrong, you know, including one of my dementia patients beating up another dementia patient. It was off the chain this weekend, you guys. And I was just like, praise Jesus. I got all my days off coming up. The entire time I was fucking questioning all my life choices. It was a mess. It's just been a messy run a couple of days. So I'm hoping the next few are going to be okay. And if next weekend, if it's off the chain, I don't know what the world I'm going to do with myself, y'all. Right. And see, truth be told, Krista, that's what I'm worried about. And the thing is it wasn't just me helping to lift this big old dude. There was two of us. And even with two of us, it was a struggle to get him up. You know what I mean? So I was just like, bro, same thing I said. Well, a lot of folks don't know, I've talked about there being an accident and all that other stuff. But I haven't gone terribly into detail simply because the situation is very, very dark. It's very morbid. It's not really something a lot of people want to talk about. And I don't really want people to feel like I'm trauma dumping, because I'm not. Like the situation with my mom, like I shared that with him, like just the quick, rough, this is what happened, because, I was like standing there on the verge of tears, ready to just lose it and fall to the floor crying, because that's all I could think about. And, he was very understanding and he was very nice. And, I'm going to be saying a prayer for him tonight, because most people, even over the most minor offender benders, would have been like completely indignant. So, I'm glad that he was understanding. Well, Elizu, good gracious, girl, where are you at? Where are you at that you can't get in? You couldn't even get somebody to show up for that. I'll be curious to see. Right. Topical. And that's what I use, a topical 5%. Oh, maybe wrong time to donate. No, it's fine. It's fine, Tarman. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for this. Thank you for the super chat, baby. I was just in the middle of like unloading everything that happened over the last, X amount of days. I get on a tirade for a moment and I lose track of myself. It was because I mean, that is my biggest fear, the prospect of hurting somebody. You know what I mean? Hi, Fatty. Okay. Now that I am feeling a little bit more decompressed here, Girl World in Verse coming through. It's been a while, right? Man, it's been off the chain. What's up, Hanny? At least you're not posting your bare ass and fishnets. Girl, I would never. Number one, I ain't got much of a booty, which, that was a high point of this weekend for me. I had this little old lady who's like 80 pounds. She come up to me. She says, you know what I would love to have? And I said, what? She said, your booty. And she smacked me on the butt. And I said, honey, I ain't got hardly no booty. What you talking about? She said, well, you got more than I do. And she just laughed and she walked away. So I ain't got much, but apparently this little old lady with no booty thinks I got a good booty. So I guess I'm going to take that as my high point of the weekend, We were spot on. Breeze immediately cried when she tried to get her rise out of no, and it worked. Girl, y'all, I just can't even with that one. How you gonna sit there and like needle somebody and then get in your fee-fees when they come back at you with your nonsense? It just doesn't make any sense. Thank you. I appreciate that. We can't all be like the most awesome zombie in history like you, Tarman. It absolutely was. I will not lie. I was laughing my ass off about it. I mean, she has finally met somebody on level with her. She thinks that people simply discussing her as people harassing her. She's done fucked around. She's fixing to find out. Hey, Kelly, how are you, honey bunch? She 100% has, Biz. Let's see. Oh, well, that's why, baby. That's why you can't get no police to show up nowhere, girl. They got their hands full. They got their hands completely full. Good gracious. Yeah, her and Chantel, same boring shit, rinse and repeat. Quite true. I know you don't. I was in an accident years ago where my car was totaled. The cops drove by and didn't stop. What the Okay, see, I'm so glad I don't live somewhere like that, because you know what? If I'm paying for the motherfuckers to do their job, they better show up and do their job. Everything that got bent can be fixed. Everyone's okay, but we can definitely understand why it was so upsetting. Right. And I figured it would make sense, I figured it would make sense. Hi, Annie. How are you, baby? It's good to see you. He said it. He said it. He said it. There ain't no question about it there. You have something. I know. I know. Oh man. I haven't heard the latest. Catch me up. Okay, so let me pull it up here. Let's see. Hi Sal, how are you, honey? Okay, so amidst Squeaker over there trying to needle at Naked and Laughing and posting photos in t-shirts and fishnets saying that Virginia is for lovers and swearing up and down that she's going to steal King Cobra from Nall. Nall came on a live and somebody brought her up and she went on a humongous tirade and proceeded to cuss Breezy up one side and down the other. And during which Nall said she was going to find the school that Breezy's daughter went to and would be notifying the principal that Squeaker is a bully and that they should be holding seminars to teach children not to bully just because their parents are bullies. And here we are, and Squeaker is doing what Squeaker does. I will call the cops on you. I will ruin your life, and then I'll take your man while you're in jail. So that's the high points. That's the Reader's Digest condensed version. And very, very recently, Nall posted, well, not very recently. Hell, this was back in November. Here we are, a community post from Nall saying, I literally just reported these stupid bitches, other channel, with that video on me. And they emailed me back with the same link I reported her on to begin with. And literally got the same effing email back. I can't with this shit. Then my mom doesn't give a single fuck what's happening to me. YouTube doesn't care. Cops don't care. So who cares when I am actually hurt myself? What does it fucking take? I would go to prison to slit this horse fucking throat on live stream. I am over everyone. I'll kill Ariel, Messica, Bianca, Bali. I don't give a fuck anymore. And I really hope Bia goes to visit Bali because she's going to get a surprise visit and have her ass beat. But shh, you didn't hear it from me. People want to play games. Get your ass beat, bitch. I really hope it does. So here we are. I mean, there's no question without even really having to spend a lot of time looking into it to see that Nall is unhinged. Nall is a sick person. She has been for some time now. And then throw the alcoholism on top of it, you know, that just makes it even worse. And Squeaker, right, damn it, Squeaker over there aggravating the woman simply to rile her up and for the pure sake of getting clicks and views is very, very disturbing. And I said this during Yo Mama stream earlier, because it's a trend. I mean, she's done it with Bali. She's doing it with Nall. She does it with whoever she can fuck with, basically. Having survived alcoholism and being on the other side of it, that's a hell that I wouldn't wish on anybody. And there were things said as a response to that video from Nall dragging her that were very, very dark and very, very ugly. And to me, I'm at the point where she's fucking around. Whatever she gets as a find out is going to be something that she asked for. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can agree with that, Tar Man. She doesn't have a whole lot to offer. Oh, thank you, Tragically Delicious, because hard days deserve a fancy coffee. Girl, thank you. Not that I don't, and I'm going to tell you, I do appreciate me a good cup of coffee. Hannibal can tell you, we done had a whole conversation about coffee recently. I'm so glad you like that, Saul. Somebody actually left me a comment in the comment section saying, you're not Yaba, hun. Find your own. They said drift. Find your own drift. They meant to say grift, but you know, yeah. Out of hand. Thanks. I really don't celebrate, but I do get small cake for myself because I usually don't eat like that. So I get stone ripped and I'm now enjoying a tuxedo cake. Will you enjoy that? Yes, sir. She sure did. It absolutely was. It was a joke, you guys. Yeah. She makes a claim that she can. You know what I mean? Can we leave the kids out of it? Breezy knows better, but that child is innocent. Quite true. And I agree with that. Realistically, I mean, nobody should really have an idea that she has a kid or really know anything about her kid for anybody to use it as a weapon against her. This is a product of oversharing, on her end. I agree. She absolutely doesn't deserve it, tragically. But Breezy always hides behind her. Unfortunately, quite true. Quite true. Anything to avoid responsibility. Breezy doesn't understand we're here to laugh at cows, not flex and compete with them. And that's exactly what's going on. Is she's trying her damnedest to compete. And that's not, nobody wants to see that, But from what I understand of the conversations that are going on, her numbers are waning. So there may be a little bit of desperation in it all. Nall's a hag from a video game that somehow found a portal to our own world. That's funny. That's funny. I'm still a bit shocked after seeing her attack Busy. I really shouldn't be. I'm glad you keep exposing her toxic ass trash. Agreed. I mean, but realistically, Kalari, people are actually starting to wake up to the circumstances a lot more. And I think that's part of the reason why her views have been affected. And people are going to get tired of that eventually. Breezy attacking someone else and then hiding behind her daughter is chump behavior. That nut bad with a crystal ball, it does the exact same thing. Quite true. Yep. As Jesse said, don't touch the poo. We don't have the class. Right? Hi, Chaos B. Who said Breezy wasn't a loco? Quite true. She's been into that. She's been out in the pasture for a little minute now. There's no question. Kelly, how long has she been comparing herself with Foodie? This is Breezy's style. A long time. Good little while now. Hi, Mia. How are you? Hey, bro, I try to keep up as best I can. There's some things that have happened where I'm just kind of privy to like that real high points and not like the in between. But this one, I've caught some stuff on that, thankfully. Shut up. We're going to turn this thing off. We're not hearing it. We're not listening to that all stream. Oh, wrong thing. I don't flat don't want to hit. Back up. Lord. There we go. Finally. Let's see. Yeah, but Busy, I tell you what it is, Biz. You are just incredibly rebellious. And I think that's one of the things that make me and you get along the way we do. She's not just simply unmedicated. It's like she's malicious. Quite true. I will never understand why people let the internet and complete friggin' strangers get into their heads and their lives. It's not that damn serious. I agree. I only ingest Nall through Hannibal, and the latest video to Cobes made me uncomfortable, even if she was allegedly hitting herself. Yeah, the girl's got issues. There's no doubt about it. She really needs some sort of formal intervention to help her with that, though. I wonder if Breezy is on more than the green. Who posts a fishnet booty pic? Hi, everybody. Hi, Pam. How are you? Girl, there's really no way to know. I mean, she'll never admit it if she is. Breezy's kicking a hornet's nest. She's not ready to suffer from the stings. No, she's not. Hi, Miss T. Listening and working. Glad to be sober, not crazy, or stupid enough to threaten people and writing and post it. Agreed. Isn't it amazing that things sobriety can do for your life, And that's why I said in that stream to your mama that I feel bad for her, because she doesn't have any real idea of exactly how drastically different her life could be if she would take the step and say, look, there's something wrong with me. I can't control this. The alcohol's destroying me. It's destroying my life. Hi. And I need help. If she could come to that realization, from that point, she actually might be able to really change her life drastically and actually be happier for it. Hi, Omi. Am I pronouncing that right, Omi? I hope so. I'm really bad with unusual names like that. She really is abusive. I just stay away from that level of mess. And that's not a bad idea. Yes, comparing herself to Foodie was always odd, but on trying to do it with someone as mentally ill as Nall is seriously unhinged. Well, it was the same sort of deal with Bali too. You know what I mean? Yeah, Nall doesn't surprise me because she's very mentally unstable, but all of the girl world fighting in real world just puzzles me. I agree. I don't see any need to take it offline, and I haven't at all ever. I mean, even if somebody does, unless you come for me and you force my hand to have to do something about it, then I'm not fixing to do that. This is random, but do you think Josh has a way out with Null? So long as she doesn't have any capability of getting back to him, then, the out was her going back home. Thank you for the super chat, though. You are incredibly generous. You know that? That's very, very sweet of you, Tar Man. I saw that comment. That's fantastic. Fantastic. You're able to find the humor and run with it. Most people would try. More people should try that tactic. Is that to me, Sal? Or is that to somebody else? Girl, I try to find the humor in everything. If I didn't, I probably would. I think I would probably have had like a tougher time getting sober if I didn't seek out the humor in things. Because life is hard enough without dwelling on what makes it hard, Breezy needs to shut up about her child. Niles is capable of anything. I agree. There was actually documentation of her posting another child on Craigslist, Breezy's just seeking attention and to be a part of this mess. Well, she's fixing to be part of it, but once it comes around to her, she ain't gonna want what she's getting here, Oh, agreed. Everyone needs to stop sharing too much of their lives, especially pertaining to children. Quite true. Saying that you're a mom and talking and saying, "Oh, well, I've got 10 kids," or whatever. That's one thing, but don't be talking specifics. Let's see. Yeah, that name change was brilliant. The only thing now threatened was to call her school. Nothing violent, at least. Not that that's good, but Breezy dangling her kid and hiding behind her is quite true. I agree with you. She absolutely does. She is hella talented. That's just on X for now. Breezy has her henchmen go out and do her dirty work. Well, that's quite true. That's true. That gives her some sort of plausible deniability where she can say, "Well, it wasn't me. I didn't do that." She uses her world for that, I think. Which is really sad because from what I understand, her world is an intelligent person. You would think that she would be like, I feel like I'm getting used here. This is not entirely my jam, but people are the way they are. Things happen the way they do. I was just thinking about that today. Breezy is a dollar store Katie Joy without a crystal ball. That's funny. I bet Breezy has been in competition against someone her whole life. Yes, probably. And has a lot of envy. And the other thing, the part that gets me was her talking about, "Are you mad that we've got a 69 Mustang?" I was listening to that and I was like, I don't believe old girl's got a license. So don't you mean your parents have a 69 Mustang? I don't do, that's kind of trying to think of the appropriate word. It's very lowbrow, to claim the gains of someone else's hard work as your own, I would imagine her family has worked quite well, for the things that they've got. And for her to say, "You mad I've got this," when it's not really hers, that's the part that I can't understand. I would never claim anything that is my mom and dad's as mine. Never. Until the time comes that they are passing away and whatever it is they choose to leave me passes to me, then yes, it will be mine. But before that point, I would never do that. That's just rude. I wish someone could take Nile, aka Angry Beth and Betty's pets away from her. I wouldn't trust her with a houseplant. True. I think she is. I think she's just too unstable. Are you okay, boo? Hey. Are you all right? You okay? Hi. Okay, I guess that means you're okay. He was trying to jump on the desk and he missed the desk. I'm living with a bunch of crazy animals. She is. I think she is. Absolutely. Holy moly, we got the chat going quick today. Let's see. Hey, Grebo. Good to see you. She was on a stream yesterday in a restaurant bathroom drinking before she went to Walmart. Jesus. Why are you talking to your mama? He's an idiot. Well, I mean, honestly, I was in there simply to listen initially. And then he covered this whole circumstance with Nall and Breezy, and it included both sides. I don't want to go to this one's channel and then have to go to this one's channel and play piecing the two things together because, he's had both. So I was like, okay, at the very least, this will catch me up on some of what's going on. But, yeah, I did say something in the chat. I was like, here's my perspective on this. That's just ugly. Why would you wish something like that on somebody who's ill, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, Busy. Right. And I'm hoping eventually she'll get there, that something will happen, that will kind of be that turning point for her. Because we all have that point. She just hasn't gotten to hers yet, I agree. They could be. I don't know if Breezy changed or her true colors showing up. Either way, I stopped watching her over a year ago when she couldn't let the Mesca shit go when Jessica was just as lied to. Well, I think this is probably more of underlying character coming out versus a full-on change of behavior. Really made an ass out of himself earlier today. I was just like, wow, yeah. The tail end of that same stream, he kind of put his foot in it. With Nile, no one brings up the fact that her parents aren't the best. We take their side because of Nile yelling at them, but it's not like someone like Nile can come from nothing, right? Well, true. Honestly, I said it. I've said it a few times. I mean, people with drug, alcohol, eating, whatever, insert the problem here, sort of addiction issues. There is some sort of trauma at the root of it all. So there's something that's happened to her that has caused her to develop this issue, because of an inability to cope. Oh, thank you, Saul. I appreciate that. If they were neglectful and abusive to her, she may not know that's normal. Not normal. She's accountable for her behavior, but living there can't be good for her either. I don't think so. I think it's actually really bad for all of them involved, truthfully. Let's see. And Satan. That's funny. Let's see. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you, sweetheart. Holy moly, I'm behind. Let's see. Sagging and nagging. That's funny. You wrong for that, though. I also have a weird habit of thinking other people's parents are bad unless I know for sure. Well, I mean, realistically, it really is hard to say whether or not her parents are really bad people because, I mean, my folks, overall good people. Was I kind of left to my own devices to kind of figure shit out on my own when I was younger, when I probably shouldn't have been? Yes. But overall, they did their best given the circumstances. So I'm not mad at them. But, they were actually caught off guard with my alcohol abuse and my addiction there. But, I don't fault them that. There are plenty of things that have gone on that have contributed to it on my end, but it's not all them, There are people that I've met in program who actually come from really good lives, great educations, good family, stable family life, all that stuff. And stuff just happens sometimes, She's got a court date in June. Ooh, we'll see how that plays out then. Breezy did not flex her step downs, broke down, rusting Mustang as her own. The girl needs to settle down and see a therapist. She absolutely did claim it as her own, which I thought was funny since she doesn't even have a license, Nall stream sitting on the toilet. Who would want to compete with that? Somebody pretty desperate. By the way, hi, crab apples. I don't know if I said hey to you or not, baby. I'm sorry. Just asking. He has no real thought out responses, so I don't talk to. I just talk about. That's true. That makes sense. What's up, girl? How you doing? It's my sister from another mister right there, y'all. Me and her been together a long time. That's my ride or die. Panel day tomorrow. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'll be back from class by 8. So you tell me when you want me and I'll be there. So many weirdos. At least I know I'm less weird. Quite true. Even the weirdest of us out here, we are still ahead of the game. See, the way she tried to profit when Garrison's passed away was incredulous. Golly, that's insane. Girl, we do a little bit of everything on there. We talk about a little bit of everything. I'm glad that you were there to witness my attempts at playing nice. How many planners do you have to keep your stream day straight? Let's see. And keep in mind aside from any mental illness. Yes. Let's see. He had me rolling last night with the roomy Speedo comments. Lord. Jessica found her live journal from her late teens, early 20s, and now was just a vile and playing victim, always number one minor inconvenience from a total meltdown. Lord have mercy. I assume that about parents because my adoptive mother's cluster B. Okay, well that makes sense. You do kind of base your evaluation of other people based on your experience, so that makes sense. Breezy with more money and attorneys. Let's see. Let's keep going here, man. I feel like I am hella behind. I try not to blame the parents directly at first, but unfortunately that's the case more often than not. That's true. It is a lot, actually, more often than people realize. No desire to talk about me, just current events would be fun. I have a great set of wheels at home. They're my feet. Hey, whatever works for you, Olga. It'll keep your body going longer. We like that. So whatever happened to be early on, because she has been like she is now since she was in her late teens at the oldest. That's an excellent question. The only way we would ever really know is if somebody who knew her actually came forward and filled in the gaps, Bad things happen to everyone. But when they happen to Nall, she just thinks she's the only person in life that hasn't been fair to. True. But at the same time, you would think that her and Squeaker would be like, they would be able to find some common ground because Squeaker's the same way, Well, you add whatever mental health issues she is not medicated for. The alcohol's a recipe for disaster. The losing it over changes is from not having control and feeling unsafe. Mm-hmm. Usually. She needs to be accountable. I just don't think she can heal in that house. I don't think so either. Bree's interview with Bali was so cringe. Too bad she's very bad at cussing at people. Bali played her like a fiddle, a badly tuned fiddle, and that's the funny thing about all of this is it's just like, how did you not see that coming? You knew that the only reason she just wanted to get up there to get in your face simply because she knows that she bothers you and you gave her exactly what she was after. It makes zero sense to me. Zero. Yeah, I think Nall would benefit from inpatient treatment. And I think she absolutely would too. But I don't ever see that happening because she's completely resistant to it. She's just not ready. She talked about bringing harm to her mom on her live journal. Then, yeah, then realistically, she should have probably been Baker acted a long time ago. It absolutely is. That's funny, y'all. That's funny, Heidi. I fantasize about things happening to my mom, but my mom hurt me before I had language. That's perfectly understandable. That's why I avoid alcohol myself. Being non-lucid is a reality for me. Without proper sleep as it is, I can't afford to aggravate my schizophrenia. I agree with you on that. And honestly, that's probably one of the worst things to get into because it's a depressant and you throw on to the fact that it messes up your sleep patterns really badly. That's the best choice you could have made. That wasn't an interview between Breezy and Bali. But Bali made Breezy. That's true. I can't deny that. You know what I mean? Nala is violent. The treatment setting would have to be a locked situation. More than likely, it would. I agree. But if they can get her through that first week, through the worst of the detox process, and they can keep her chilled out, the likelihood that she'll be violent will be greatly, greatly reduced, you know. And, you know, once she has some lucidity and her thoughts are not clouded by the substances, then they may actually have an easier time actually working with her, you know. She would have to be treated for an underlying mental illness or personality disorder at the same time as the addiction. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It would have to be an imposed inpatient stay, if you know what I mean. Because I don't ever see her actually. I have a hard time believing that there's a possibility that she may actually get to the point where she's had enough. I think it'll take some sort of outside intervention to push her that way. You know what I mean? I don't think Breezy gets it. Nala is not like Foodie. She's a horror cow. Quite true. Two completely different people, man. She's gotten away with so much thus far. I guess she feels like she can continue to coast and do whatever she wants, and she's not going to catch anything for it, but she absolutely will. It's just a matter of time. Some people go their whole lives without having a single solitary moment of lucidity. That's true. And, you know, more power to them. I would really, that's just not my jam. You know what I mean? I'm just glad there was no YouTube when I was in denial of my mental health needs. Same. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I am so glad that there was no YouTube through a lot of things that we dealt with and we did growing up. If so, we would all be fucking canceled. Every single person in Gen X and older, we would all be fucking canceled. No, needs some time in a jacket that fastens in the back. Probably wouldn't hurt her, actually, Clark. How are you, by the way? Tragically, my mom died, and I was fine with it. And then her husband died, who made my childhood hell. Died alone in pain. He had his preacher call me to ask forgiveness. I said no. I hope it hurts. Well, the forgiveness is not for him, though, Heidi. It's for you, baby. I'm glad there was no YouTube. Same. We would have never been able to do nothing as adult folks if that was the case. You know what I mean? Okay, so now that we done covered all the drama from the last couple of days. That's weird, Waldo. That's very strange. I wonder why not. Breezy doesn't understand the difference between law cows and horror cows. She barely understands the difference between actually sober, Callie sober, and active addiction, if she understands at all. I think she has some understanding. She just chooses not to. You know what I mean? Carrying the anger is what hurts you. Let my mom go. Her deity for forgiveness. Yep, that's the way it should be. Anger is basically a poison that you're ingesting, hoping that it'll hurt the other person. It doesn't hurt them. It will hurt you, though, you know. It was very cathartic to know those last days were painful, and some people don't deserve forgiveness. I can let it go without forgiving them. I agree. That's true. That's very true. So, what do you say? Let's talk about some lowbrow folk up in this joint. Let's start with the biggest fool we've ever known here. You know, I couldn't resist this girl and her. I swear to God, y'all. Hey, I've been saying that, and I actually got told that I'm gatekeeping sobriety because I said something along those lines. I said it nicely, and I still got told that I'm gatekeeping sobriety. You know, so I'm glad it's not just me saying it. She also doesn't understand that her actions and behaviors are triggering for so many. She's an oblivious deal hole. Now, I don't think she's entirely oblivious. I think it's an intentional thing. Can you see me? Right. Thank goodness there was no YouTube or even Facebook in my teens. We had MySpace. That was what was the big thing when we were coming up, was MySpace. It's a good thing that it's very, very hard to find those pages now, because a lot of people would probably be in trouble. Nope, that's the facts. Those of us who are in recovery know. Quite true. I agree with you, but then, people love to argue on YouTube. So it is what it is. I still would like to know what she ate to gain 18 pounds, of her proud to lose weight loss back. Girl, so I'm going to say this.
So it's very unfortunate.
Some of it, there is no question, is water weight. Some of it, but not all of it, which she tries so hard to make it sound like it is. Same. Right. I had a GeoCities account too. I ain't gonna lie. I was in Soho. I was in the Soho neighborhood. That was way, way back in the day, along with Netscapes. Man, how does one gatekeep sobriety? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Well, I personally think it's dumb too. But ideally, I was told that I was gatekeeping sobriety, and that what is going on with the situation over there is it's harm reduction and not active use. It's just like, okay, whatever. I'm not arguing with people. I was just like, whatever. It is not the same thing. When you substitute one thing for another thing, that is cross addiction. When you use something like methadone to treat heroin addiction, that is harm reduction. It's two completely different things. Harm reduction is usually done under the care and guidance of a professional whose purpose is to do that. It isn't, I'm going to the weed man. You know what I mean? Harm reduction is a thing, but that person is confused. I agree. And I said the same thing, but that's when I got told I was gatekeeping. So, I'm just like, okay, well, I gave the pretty prototypical response when I have people who don't know try to argue with me about things that they don't know anything about. I said, you might be right. And then they stopped talking to me altogether. They just kind of took it as a win, even though I am telling them, I'm playing mental gymnastics with them, basically. Oh, holy moly. I'm glad you guys think so, because I didn't think so. I mean, just apparently being honest is gatekeeping now. MySpace was my jam. I'm glad I'm still alive. Because I still meet random people that I like it was my job. Let's see. There you go. You know what, Salty? That's your best bet, because you can't fight with stupid. I agree. And I dare not even bother. That's why, whenever I say, hey, here's why I'm saying what I'm saying. No, that's not right. And then they go right to something like you're gatekeeping, or they try to flat out argue. I'm like, you know what? You might be right. I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying that they might be. And that's all they want to hear. All they want to hear is you may be, you're right. That in some form, manner, or fashion. It doesn't actually have to be you're right. Girl, I think that all Gen Xers learned from basic HTML coding from all those sites. We absolutely did. Didn't have any other choice. GeoCities, I had a site dedicated to Sailor Moon. I'm such a nerd, still am there. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Thank you, crab apples. All right, let's get into some foolishness, y'all.
So it's very unfortunate. I am back in the 500s, and it's just like, I'm super swollen. I know I am. I feel it in my legs. Not once did I binge or anything like that. I do want to make that very well known.
The lies.
That I just overate every single day.
Right, ma'am. That would be the. All right, let me break it down here. Your overeating is the human-sized version of a binge. You need to learn the difference. Jesus Christ.
My body was really, truly just like getting used to and like adapting to the fact that I was eating below 2,000 calories.
Ma'am, you ate 2,000 calories for about 5 or 6 days. That ain't even enough time for your lab values to shift in the slightest. And here you are trying to act like you did something serious.
And then, bam, out of nowhere for almost a week, I stopped doing that.
It ain't out of nowhere. It ain't out of nowhere. I didn't include it, but there was this whole video where she went, oh, well, I went to Trader Joe's, which is incredibly triggering to me because it has so much processed food, you guys. I just couldn't help myself. It's not out of nowhere. That was a choice. I am so sick and tired of her trying to skirt around the issues. If she did, okay, I'm just going to say this because I know ALR watches. She always watches. Okay, ALR. If you want to be a quarter-ton death fat, just say it. And stay a quarter-ton death fat, okay? Nobody out here cares. Nobody out here is as focused on the weight as you are. We're focused on the fact that you're an uppity asshole for absolutely no reason at all. That's what all of us out here in Hater Nation that you love to declare, that's all we care about. Instead of worrying about how wide your ass is, how about worrying about how dirty your soul is, ma'am? You are abusive to every living entity that you come in contact with. You manipulate them. You put them down. You drag the life force out of them simply to make yourself feel better. That makes your spirit highly, highly dirty. Jesus Christ. All right, children. What are we doing? We've got to collect. Sorry, we're gonna have a cattail problem tonight. Hi. Okay. Jesus Christ. Hey. Overeight is gaining like 5 pounds a week. You are binging. Quite true. But she's living in full-on Delulu land here, you know. I can be nutritionally dense and keep it under 800 to maintain. Quite true. I mean, depends on the choices, and her choices are what's causing the problem. But, you know, she absolutely wants to be completely in denial about it. Holy moly. Let's see. Oh, if that's triggering, then don't go. Right. That. Oh, maybe you'll have to wait till after the stream is over, Reality Chica. Hi, Inferno. How are you, love? Good to see you, sweetheart. I closed my eyes. I think you were talking about foodie. Well, it is applicable to both, you know. If she was restricting her calories to anything under 2,000, she'd be dropping weight like mad. Quite true. And that's why I don't ever believe anything that she says. Very long binge. Exactly. Actually, I think honestly, Amber would be absolutely fucking insufferable if she lost weight. You know, I don't have enough hours in the day. True. She uses her weight as an excuse not to participate in life. It's because she really doesn't have much to offer anybody, you know. Hi, Vanessa. Good to see you, sweetheart. YouTube is drunk. It needs to go home. Yeah, I see that. It's saying, this thing is saying that there are only 3 viewers at the moment. I know there's got to be more than that, but it's weird. It's acting functified. I have a show planned, but I got home late and still want to go live, but want to wait and want the panel more YouTube conflicted. Gotcha. My cats won't look at me since I started switching them to new food today. Tiki cat is expensive, but they won't even eat it mixed with their other food. Oh no. Don't you hate it when that happens? I've been away for 45 minutes. You haven't missed much here. You good, salty boy. It's been a couple of days, dude. It's a long story. Breezy lost weight allegedly, and she's being insufferable. Well, she was insufferable before she lost weight too. It's basically the same person, only it's just amplified now. That's all. Great minds think alike, Kelly. You know, my whole subscription page is gone. Oh Lord, YouTube's is derping. No joke. Nope, just me, myself, and I in here. That's weird. See, it's saying now that there are 5, but you know, there are still plenty of you saying stuff in the comment section. That's what's so weird about it. Both of them would be the biggest bitches if they weighed 125 pounds. No lie. Quite true. No question. Her caloric intake just to maintain is already high at her weight. She would have to have had a binge a whole lot to even gain a few pounds in 1 week. I know. We're gonna get into that because old girl starts to try to flex some big brain energy that she don't have. Breezy has the same delusional definition of weight loss as Amberlynn and Foodie, which is new filters. I'm bringing y'all to work with me. Well, try to have a good night. We're not going to use the Q word, but we are going to say, hey, try to have a good night. Yeah, she thinks she's hot shit, but I don't think it's the hot shit that she's thinking of. Quite true. Quite true. That's funny. All right, let's continue.
And I'm going to say I was probably eating about 3,000 calories a day, especially because when I was losing weight, like my legs haven't felt that amazing in so long. And what I mean by that is like I had less fluid and like water retention than I've had in years. But
you don't fucking say. See what happens when you follow something that closely resembles the diet that your physician instructed you to be on from the beginning? It's like there's a reason why these physicians are paid to do what they do, you know? I mean, nutritionist Lynn couldn't have figured that out. Right. I mean, come on.
I have been becoming more like confident in myself lately.
Based on what?
And I think it's because I am, loving myself more.
I think it's safe to say that anybody who weighs 1/4 of a ton does not love themselves. You would not be stuck in a cycle of slowly destroying your body from the inside out if you loved yourself. That speaks to not just food addicts, that speaks to drug addicts and alcoholics too.
Because once you start to care about something, that's when you start to water it a little bit more and nourish it a little bit more in the way that you're supposed to. I simply know who I am, and that's all that matters. So, yes.
Y'all, this girl ain't had a half a clue who the hell she is since she started this channel. There you go. Objection sustained, Hannibal. Objection sustained. I mean, we've seen her steal the personalities of everyone, including her mother, every girlfriend she's ever had, people that she watches on YouTube. I mean, come on. Right. She is obviously an alien from some faraway unknown planet that we have never dealt with before. It isn't like she has the exact same human DNA that the rest of us does. It's like, come on. She's lying. She's been saying how great she's been feeling ever since she posted that full body shot and got the brain dead TikTok comments. She's flying high on those right now. She's an idiot if she believes it.
So the USPS, like the guy was parked right next to a little like drop slot.
I left this in because even though the story was stupid, I want y'all to hear this. Just how quickly she loses track of the lies that she tells. She says this guy was parked right next to.
So the USPS, like the guy was parked right next
right
to
there.
Little, like, drop slot thingamajigger.
He's parked next to it.
My actual like envelopes to him. So we ended up going back in.
But they had to go back in. Was he outside and parked, or was he inside the building? Which one is it? But wants to try to make a huge ordeal about this, about people thinking that she's lying about everything. How is anybody supposed to believe anything you say when you quite literally change your lie right in the middle of telling it?
And then when we realized he actually is a USPS worker because he was like taking all of the things out of the little area where we like, but it's just weird because me and my mom like have the same weird anxieties. We were like, wait a minute. Like when we pulled away, we're like, who the heck and why the heck? And why did we just give it to him so easily?
Okay. I left that also in there to point out that it is going to be ugly to say, but I don't care. The fact that that gene pool is going to die off with Amber is probably the best thing that ever happened to society. There's a couple of gene pools on YouTube that need some chlorine, y'all. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, real quick. This is just a still shot of her trying to imply that the basal metabolic rate calculator is incorrect and the reason why. Let's just go through all this. First of all, let's talk about this 150 pounds of lipedema, okay? Lipedema, even though she likes to say that it doesn't count toward the weight or the calories to lose weight, is incorrect because what she eats does absolutely contribute to that lipedema enlarging. So she can't say that the reverse is not true, especially when the care, maintenance, and treatment of lipedema is diet, exercise, and a healthy lifestyle. So there is no subtracting that 150 pounds, boo-boo. It does not fly, okay? So this 350 lbs, ma'am, you not even if you was 350 pounds, you still the equivalent of probably 3 times what your actual fucking body weight should be. But since you want to focus on just your basal metabolic rate, let's talk about your waist circumference and the fact that you are longer around than you are tall. That puts you in the top percentile for having a cardiac event, for having a neurological event, for having diabetes. That puts you at all of them. Now, let's talk about the stupid shit that she wants to try to say, oh, well, it doesn't take these into consideration. Low metabolism from yo-yo dieting. I think it would be pretty safe to say that for you to do anything that would qualify as yo-yo dieting, it would require more than 5 days worth of participation for it to be yo-yo dieting. Okay? Yo-yo dieting is what Oprah Winfrey did for all those years, where she lost 50 pounds, gained 50 pounds, lost 60 pounds, lost 80 pounds, gained it back. Okay? This one is not losing more than 30, 40 pounds at most and then gaining it back because she stuffs her face the way she does. Okay. The menopause one, that one, I love how she puts this. When estrogen decreases, it causes weight gain with a frowny face. As someone who is now in menopause, I did gain weight. I gained exactly 60 pounds, but do you know what? I have all of that, but maybe 14 pounds that has come back off with some changes. Okay, so there's that. Secondarily, let's just say this. I don't know if menopause were even that drastic of an issue here, the majority of the female population in the great wide world would be super morbidly obese too. This doesn't even really fall into place. That was her choice not to take estrogen. Her choice. So there's that. But her slow metabolism has to do with, one, her choice of foods that she's eating. Number two, the fact that she doesn't do any fucking thing. She goes from bed to couch, from couch to refrigerator, from refrigerator to couch, from couch to refrigerator, from refrigerator to couch, round and round we go until she goes from the couch to the bed. And I'm sorry, her one time of, oh, I walked a mile, all of a sudden she feels like she's done something. No, I am sick of her fucking excuses. Like I said, if you want to be a big ass bitch, cool, stay a big ass bitch. Just say, I want to be a big ass bitch and I want to eat whatever I want, be a big ass bitch, and we'll leave it at that. But no, she wants to say, it's totally not my fault, you guys. It is absolutely 100% your fault when you are the only person influencing whether or not you change what you want changed or not. I am sick and fucking tired of the excuses. I mean, come the fuck on, y'all. Let's see. Got a pack. The Hubs has a race in Tampa. Oh, tell him to be safe. That too, exactly. I can't even recall Oprah's weight switching up. Bro, she went up and down a couple of times. She had like some serious one at one point. She had like a serious drop at one point, but it didn't last long. I live in Florida too when I'm not on the road with my hubby. Hey, we got a bunch of Floridians up in here. They're just lies to tell herself to make herself feel better. That's exactly what it is. And I'm sorry, but I don't get down with that. Menopause has turned me into a crusty bitch. I ain't even gonna lie. These girls make me feel so good. I'm 47 and I have an A1C of 5, a plaque score of 0, and my lungs are clear except what COVID did to the bottom lower lobes. BP is normal. Same. Hey, I actually had my lab work and everything done not too terribly long ago, and everything on me is normal. Okay. The only thing that's wrong with me is I got that little bit of extra, that little bit of padding on my booty that I'd like to get rid of. That's it. You know? And the fact that I need to build some muscle back up, but I'm working on that when I don't try to hurt myself in the process. You know what I mean? And I stay on it. They throw caution to the wind and shots of gravy down the gullet. Yep. They don't care. Estrogen is good when you mix it with vodka, crimpy hair, and OJ. Yeah. You couldn't tell her that. The only body part she moves constantly is her damn tongue and you know, from the elbow to the ends of her fingers. That's about it. Unless you can say that I am the cause of my weight issues, you will not do your part to fix said issues. Quite true. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Amber's addicted to food. Foodie's addicted to the eating itself. Yeah, I could see that. And she had the nerve to say a therapist told her that falling off and binging was normal. No, not if you are utilizing the tools that they're giving you to help you to avoid a binge. You know what I mean? If her legs are 150 and her body weighs 350, then her head must be 200 at this point. Damn, I didn't know an ego could weigh that much. Man, her ego is going to end up landing on her box at this rate. You know what I mean? She's probably built muscle from arm to mouth movement. Right, man. That you could probably not pry her hand down. You know what I mean? She has been on a diet for 10 years, and what should she accomplish? At least 200 pounds of gain. Honestly, I don't count anything that she does as actually being on a diet because she never stays on it long enough to actually make any real substantial change to her body. I said that on panel with Kalari and them the other night. I'm like, bro, we built different down here. Florida man is a thing for a reason, you know. Hi, Amber. How are you, honey bunch? I am 44. Tomorrow, biggest I have been. I was on the road a year doing 14-hour days sitting in a truck, and I got up to 190. I'm only 4'9". I'm back to 140. I still would eat whatever I want, just small portions. It's all about the choices. Amber has been on some kind of diet since she was 10. If she's to be believed, not based on her size, I don't believe a word of it. It's a possibility to relapse, but if you're working your program, you have the tools, you should make the choices not to. Exactly. Let's see. All right. Let's do this. What do y'all think? Oh, man. See, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's filling. It's got a ton of protein. It does exactly what you needed to do, homegirl. So if it works for you, do it. I'm all for that. Wait a minute. Whose birthday is it? Heidi's birthday, huh? All right. I'm not going to sing the regular happy birthday song, okay? Y'all all know the regular happy birthday song. I am going to sing the second verse of the happy birthday song, okay? You ready? I hope you get some tonight. I hope you get some tonight. I hope you get some cake and ice cream. I hope you get some tonight. Mwah. Yeah, the happy birthday song was just too long. Technically, I guess they could be the same length, but you know. I just got back from Florida for a week. I'm really thinking about moving there within the next year. Girl, I have a feeling you would probably love it here. It is a very nice, very, very nice state. You got any idea about what region you want to go to? I do a lot of eggs, oats, and rice noodle stuff. Nothing wrong with that, man. I hear that I haven't tried the oats. I was thinking about doing some overnight oats, but I've never really been crazy about oatmeal, you know. It's easy to get on the road too, especially when we deliver to Sam's Club, and their chicken is so good. Oh, it is amazing. Girl, I love their chicken salad, the one that you get in a big container that's like $10. I'll do that for lunch. That and some Clubhouse crackers. Call it done. Sing Spirit Journey Transformation. What? I don't think I've ever heard of that, but okay. Let's see. I believe her about being on some kind of diet for years. But I also believe that she was just as dense and difficult back then as she is now, which is why she's 550 pounds. I don't know about that. I emailed you the lyrics I came up with, a song parody of Crystal Waters. Ooh, it just fits who lives in her car right now. I don't even think I know that song. I'll have to look that up. And I'll have to look that up, okay, and listen to it, and then see if I can work out singing those lyrics for you, and then I will send it back to you. And I'm still waiting on, I was just going to say, I was still waiting on that. For my birthday, I expect your rendition of Gillette's. Oh, I can give you something. This is as close as we get.
Teeny weeny, shriveled little short man.
That's as close as we get, y'all. I don't do the overnights. I do play with honey, cinnamon, and golden ray. Oh, the overnights. It took a second to register what you were saying. I used to hate it, but I find it comforting now. Well, I found a few that are supposed to be pretty good. You know, that cheesecake flavored sort of deal. And I was like, oh, that actually sounds really good. So I'm gonna give it a go and just see how it plays. You know, I know I would. I lived in Altoona Springs as a teen for 2 years. I would probably move around Kissimmee. That's way down north. You're gonna be dealing with some hella hot temperatures, homegirl. I think she's just 100 off of what she says she is, probably. I love their chicken salad too, and the oven take and bake stuff is good, especially the stuffed salmon. I've got a couple of things that have been recommended to me in there that I haven't tried yet, but I will be. Hi, Hecate. How are you? You doing okay? It's good to see ya. Hey, I figured you get a kick out of that. That's a regular on here, actually. Tragically, it's good with hot chocolate mix too. Oh no. That needs a Yo Mama remix. Oh my Lord. Lord have mercy. How about Jolene? I don't really know if I've got the chops for Jolene, to be real with you. Girl, we was talking about that earlier. You missed it, baby. You missed it. I like the overnight oats. I also like chia pudding. Well, the one that I found was actually a combination of both. The lady was using both. She used the overnight oats, chia seed, milk, some sugar-free pudding mix. Okay, mix it all together. You know what I mean? And put it in the fridge overnight. You know, so it sounded good. So I was like, you know, you put fruit or whatever on it. So I was like, hey, that actually doesn't sound too bad. Let's see. Oh, trolling. That's as close as I'm getting to that. With your accent, I think you might be able to pull it off. Maybe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Celebration's not a place you want to go. You're definitely going to want to steer clear of that neighborhood. It's pretty dark around them parts. Kalari said she sent me some lyrics for a song she wants me to do. We initially talked about her doing, she was going to remake Private Dancer for me to sing for her to use, which I was kind of like, okay, I guess I'll give it a go. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm willing to try. Same. At least Jolene. No, some of that Dolly's got a really high note to her. Shut up. She's got a really high note to her, and that's part of the reason why I say I'm not 100% sure I could pull that off. I mean, I'm willing to give it a go. It probably won't be great, but you could probably stand to listen to it. You know what I mean? Last night, watching Hannibal, I got a spark of inspiration, and Crystal Waters' voice is nice and deep. Sounds like a plan. I'm going to have to look her up and kind of get a feel of the song, but I will absolutely record and send it back to you. I watched a video about celebration, and there's something in the water. That's freaky. Freaky. All right. Trolling with an Amber accent. Jesus. You mean a Valley Girl accent? Can we all agree that Miley Cyrus knocked her version of Jolene out of the park and was even better than Dolly's? I don't know. I don't think really anybody's better than Dolly, but that's just me. Better than your mama ever could. All right. Y'all ready to get into this one? Because this one right here, y'all, this one's not nearly... the lack of IQ comes into play here, but not nearly as prominently as the other one.
Hey guys, so we're out here just going for a walk. I walked for about 15 minutes.
Do you notice that she ain't red at all? Ain't got no flush to her. And yes, and throw the word literally every once in a while. Yeah. She does not have a Valley Girl accent. Well, maybe hidden Valley Girl accent. Yeah, but she's definitely not Southern, which she tried so hard to be while she was up Becky's rear end. Yeah, I don't really like her either. Literally. Yeah, she's aggravating. But I had this whole situation, these girls, both of them just irked the piss out of me, That Flintstone sweatshirt is sending me. I know, right? I'm giving her maybe 5 minutes, just long enough for her to get into the wooded area of it all to make it look like she's done something. Because you'll notice when she's walking back, the footage of her walking back cuts really short just as she's coming out of the wood line, which doesn't take her long to get there,
Now I'm just going to head back.
But we've seen this one. When she actually does some real walking, she is red in the face. She's panting. She looks like she's fitting to keel over.
Okay, you guys check out this quote from today's page on my agenda. Very often a change of self is needed more than a change of scene. A.C. Benson.
I kept that in there because this one right here is currently the queen of locational. Jesus. Is it she's on a locational fix problem. I mean, she's just like any other addict that thinks, oh, well, if I move to Seattle, my life is going to be perfect and everything's going to be great and da. And then they move to Seattle and everywhere they go there they are and their problems went with them because it's them. The problem is them. She reads this and she makes it want to sound like, oh, that's absolutely right. She wouldn't know anything about that. Facts. I mean, like it says on the screen, take the fucking hint. Locational Jesus, like anal Jesus, but all over the place. Hey, y'all are just, I'm guessing we're going to have like a whole nother thing, a whole separate church. It's a whole separate religion. It's Jesus, but it's two denominations. She spent more time writing in that journal than walking. Quite true. I don't think so either, to be honest. Right. How many is a few dill? I think that's supposed to be a few dill pickles is what I think she meant to say. Girl, I can't even with her.
Isn't that true? But I want to talk about wanting to go home. One thing I've been really struggling with the past few times I'm
going to say this real quick. This ain't got nothing to do with what she's saying. I'm talking about the video. You know that woman doing that henna on her hand had to have been straight up been like, this is a big ass catcher's mitt I'm putting this henna on.
come and gone back and forth between Canada and the Middle East is the inability to express my feelings regarding the reasons the trips have been happening.
That's a you problem.
Number one, of course, there is the obvious. I am chronically impulsive.
Again, a you problem. That would be something you would need to see a therapist about, ma'am. You should have been under the care of a therapist years ago. Secondarily, let's just also throw this out here too, okay? A handful of visits to a therapist does not treatment make. It takes years, and a shit ton of work. If she thinks going to this 1 or 2 appointments that she's got while she's in Canada is going to fix her problem, she is sorely mistaken.
Besides that, imagine you are who you are, and a big part of you was shaped by the culture and society you were brought up in.
Ma'am, you being an asshole has nothing to do with you being Canadian.
Now imagine that unexpectedly you fall in love and get married and spend a great amount of time integrating yourself in your new significant other's culture, and that culture deeply embraces the religion you now follow.
That's interesting, since you don't even embrace the religion that the community follows, which means you basically fit nowhere. I agree. No question about it. She was like, this here's a catcher's mitt. Let's just make it a decorative catcher's mitt. Yikes.
So you start to feel like this is your home.
No.
But there are always things about your first home that you miss, and probably always will. It's like a tug of war.
I find that funny, given the fact that she said that Canada was pretty much a shithole, that everything was too expensive, that the healthcare system was subpar because she had to wait, just like everyone else that lives there, to actually see a primary care provider, much less the team that she would need to actually have her evaluation done to even meet qualification for weight loss surgery. Okay. And that everything's better in the Middle East. I mean, come on. But, now that you're getting some backlash, it's a great place. The people are nice, all that. When you were just calling people in Canada assholes before you flew back, you need to pick your lane and stay in it. Right. Sleep paralysis demon loading as we speak. Jesus. Quite true. That's the only good thing that she sees about it, is her ability to build the system,
I miss the Middle Eastern culture. I miss hearing the call to prayer.
Hi. Hey, let me come over here. Thank you. Instead of saying culture, instead of I miss the Middle Eastern culture, why don't you just say I miss the food? Because we know that's what you mean. In order to miss the culture, you actually have to partake in the culture and be a part of experiencing the culture, which we know she hasn't. So there's that. And how are you? Okay, and you're saying you miss the call to prayer, which is something that you pretty much spend your time ignoring. So you miss your background noise, is how I'm pretty much taking it. Right there. All of that. could go to a mosque all day long if she wanted. Yeah, but that would actually require her to have some actual faith. You know what I mean? No, she didn't. No, the fuck she didn't. I can't with her. She mishearing it, but not praying it right. It's basically background noise for her. In Canada, if you don't show up at the clinic at 8 a.m., you have to wait all day for free health care. Imagine the entitlement. I know. It's that or come down here, ma'am, and try to get you some shit and see what happens to you. She never went out of the apartment to ever experience Middle Eastern culture. Facts. Right. Why does the call to prayer remind you that you need a snack? Definitely does not. Definitely, because you definitely don't pray. We witnessed that on lives 100%. Did she now? I can't say that surprises me. The performative reading of the Quran. Yep. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut. Hey, you are free to say whatever you like in here, Waldo.
You know, I never realized before how difficult it is to understand someone's life or decisions without being them.
That's because you have no ability to empathize with other people, ma'am.
Thailand was fun, and I want to live life to the fullest. Or maybe like 2/3 to the fullest. Become.
Oh my goodness. I want to live life to the fullest. Well, 2/3 to the fullest. If you're talking about your stomach, ma'am, then you're there. Because honestly, that's as close to the full that you are going to get, that you are seeking out. Because so long as you continue to degrade and destroy your body at the rate at which you have shown us that you have done and will continue to do, your ability to lead even 1/3 of the life that you wanted to live is pretty damn unlikely.
I want to live life to the fullest. Or maybe like 2/3 to the fullest. Become. And don't get me wrong, Canada is a beautiful country and Canadians are amazing. It just feels like taking 2 steps back in life.
At this point, I would take 2 steps in any fucking direction than where she's at right now. Because honestly, she ain't made no motion in any direction at this point. She is basically the same person doing the same things, being the same asshole that she has been for years. The only difference is the costume she chooses to play. We went from bad wigs and ill-fitting clothing to a tent with a hole in the top and a scuba mask. I mean, come on. I can't with this, y'all. I mean, does she honestly think she's fooling anybody?
I never thought I would eat this again. I probably shouldn't, but I mean, I know I shouldn't.
No, you're right. You shouldn't. Transient moment of self-realization right there, y'all.
Yeah, I'm in the Kia. I'm pretty much living in the Kia.
She said that and then she kind of chuckled like she was joking. But truth be told, to an extent, I don't think that's entirely a joke. I do believe she said at one point that she's bouncing from place to place to place, staying with people, which if you'll think about it, it makes sense. There's not too many people that are going to be able to put up with her long term. She obviously gets on everyone's nerves. That's why 90% of what we see from her, she's in the car, or going to somewhere, she's getting back in the car, and that's the way that it is. And that's because she can't stay anywhere because she is pissing people off. I can almost guarantee that. I don't know. She's had that jacked up narration voice for a minute. Hi, Scout. Yeah, she keeps saying she wants to travel with Sala again. Right. With what money? I mean, he paid a portion of her ticket back to Canada. So where exactly are they going to find the money for that? I might actually dislike Breezy more than Foodie now. That's bad. Well, they're definitely fighting to see who can be the bigger butthole at this point, it seems. This parking lot she's sitting in must be her favorite spot because there's so many clips of her parked there. I think it's the only one. I think it's probably because it doesn't have any sort of security. You know what I mean? Couch surfing till she damages the couch. Plus Buster doesn't want him in her home. Hey man, that should be the tell of it all right there by itself. Look at the poutine makes me ill. She'll eat anything. Oh yeah, no question about that, girl. Her taste buds are fried. Speaking of which, I bought my first moo today. I'm ready to start embracing my old lady life. You knock yourself out, girl. Couldn't be me. Breezy is currently mooing the loudest. Yeah, she's this. Who you talking about? What you talking about, Hannibal?
All of the things that I used to love, or all of the things that used to be like comfort foods, you know?
Which would be everything. Stuff that she has never tried before. After the first time she eats it, it automatically becomes comfort food for her. Just like everything that she ends up with in front of her is her favorite. Nothing actually holds real relative meaning for her. I don't believe Sala paid for any of her travel costs nor anything else for that matter. Probably not. Yeah. You talking about mine or hers?
I'm getting very worried about the situation in the Middle East, honestly. I just want to say like a genuine, I'm sorry for like, if I was ever mean to you, because I've lashed out at viewers. I've been pretty nasty. I've said some mean
Kalari, this part's for you, baby. She's talking about you.
things, even if it's out of anger, self-defense, whatever.
So we're going to apologize, but not apologize all at the same time.
You know, I really don't like being that way and hurting other people. So if I
Sure you don't.
hurt you, if I'm responsible for that or offending you, I apologize. Like, truly I do. And that just includes everybody. And I'm sorry, you know, for things I've said recently or during Cuba Rage.
Wait. Old girl said she didn't remember none of it.
I hated my existence back then. But it's no excuse. I have to be.
Back then? I'm sorry, but I think it's pretty safe to say she hates her existence right now, too. Goes back to that same comment with ALR. Nobody who truly loves themselves or loves their life eats themselves to this point.
Be careful. Oh, how I treat people, how I talk to people.
Oh, ma'am, you should learn that probably how old is she now? She's 40. You should learn that at least 35 years ago.
You know, that's the only thing I can control. Ooh.
You done had everybody out here in girl world telling you that for ages.
Losing my channel for a week, like getting a strike for my behavior towards another person, was eye-opening for me because I was like, but I was responding to somebody hating on me.
It opened my eyes because I was like, and then we jumped right to the excuses. It was eye-opening for her because this was the first time that she has caught consequences for talking shit the way that she does. She thought that she was 10 feet tall and bulletproof, and now she realizes she's not. So let's go back to the excuses to justify our behavior.
And it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. That sounds so juvenile. Like, I do need to grow up in that way. I need to accept that. I can't stop. I'm on the internet. I can't stop people from hating on me. No, not everyone's going to like me, you know? And people are going to call me names or whatever and just point things out about me, whatever. They're going to criticize me. And, you know, I look like crap going back and, you know, raging against something that I don't like and doing the same thing, you know, calling someone names or whatever. So it was eye-opening for me, honestly, about my own behavior. And I don't like myself that way.
Yet another transient moment of self-realization and play right there, because we know this is not going to last. She's done this before, you know? I mean, if she truly cared about how she was speaking to other people, then she would probably have less to worry about if she changed her behavior that caused people to actually speak on the things that they see. It's kind of like that one right there that she's talking about. You can't sit here and act an ass and then get butt hurting in your feelings and call the police and do God and whatever when you are the one giving people the things out here to discuss. A true measure of maturity comes with a certain amount of realization that you can't control what people have to say about you. Okay? You are in control of nothing past the end of your nose. But what you can control is what you get people to talk about. And what they talk about is what you show them, what you do, what you say, how you act. And that is the long and the short of it. And because old girl is immature and quite a few other ones out here in the streets are immature, they are not equipped to realize that. And it doesn't matter what you use to try to deflect or to shield yourself. Criticism is going to come whether you like it or not. You can't be an asshole and expect to come out clean on the other side of it. It just does not work that way. She doxed me again yesterday on Twitter after her cohorts did it last month. Professional victim, her karma is coming. It's all a matter of time. You can't even say that because I'm truly one of the most immature people I've ever known and still don't treat people like that. Well, no, there's a level of maturity to you that has always been there. You just choose to embrace the immature part of yourself. That's all that is. That's all that is. That's a nice way of putting it. She already had this ticket. Her visa requires round trip. This return was left over from Scatgate. Ooh, that's a good point, Mudslicker.
When I was sick, I swore, I'm like, I'm never eating another bad thing for me ever again.
And here we are.
That's how I think Tammy Slayton, she was asked, like, how she lost weight. She had the surgery, but also she said she would still eat things like spaghetti and pizza, but just like way less. So like when she was in the, I think this was before her surgery though, actually. When she was in the rehab facility, they would give her spaghetti, but just like less of it with some salad, or pizza, maybe one slice.
The key word that she overlooked there was rehab, i.e. inpatient facility, which is where Foodie needs to be and where she will only make any headway with the issues that she's got mentally, physically, you name it. Until she actually seeks out some real professional help, that does not mean that she can walk out the door and go right back to her own devices. She's never going to get anywhere other than an early grave, and that's just reality. So her trying to use Tammy's change of lifestyle as some sort of justification for what she's doing is a false equivalent. Because Tammy was doing the work while she was in rehab. That's why she was gone for so long. Right. That. Tammy has done the work. Tammy's changes are lifestyle changes. You eating a portion of a meal on camera and then devouring the rest of it after you've turned the camera off is not the same thing.
So I'm not afraid of like war, but people are like that.
Hey Bella, girl, a lot of people have trouble wrapping their mind around her. She is a literal hot mess. You know me? You know what I mean? I really think that she should live in a group home setting or something where she is monitored and has case management. I don't even really think a group home would help her because if she has any ability to access the outside world, she absolutely will, and she'll use it to her detriment, Not that we're aware of, but it wouldn't shock me if she had, Her saying that she's not afraid of war. tell me how privileged you are without telling me how privileged you are. And I say that as somebody who have also never seen war, but I can respect that it is a very traumatic thing for the people who live in war-torn areas. There are whole families who suffer devastation due to war and the secondhand problems that it produces after it's been resolved. I think so too. And her thinking that she is going to be able to deal with something that serious is just absolutely mind-blowing to me.
So I'm not afraid of like war, but people are like, that's an omen to stay in Canada. No, I came here and got sick. That's an omen to leave.
She's talking about this ER visit of hers where she was saying that that was an omen for her to leave because she didn't get sick until she got to Canada. Let's just completely disregard the fact that we've got a dangling immune system from long-term, unchecked, unmanaged diabetes. We're just going to ignore all that, y'all. We're just going to ignore all that. She absolutely should be. She absolutely should be. Growing up in a military family, I was taught you don't idolize war. It's always lives being destroyed. Exactly. Exactly. She wouldn't know anything about that. That's why she has no fear. Well, I know based on what she said in this live, initially when she walked in the door, they automatically assumed that she was in DKA. But I would assume that the lab testing they did on her confirmed the norovirus, and she gets a little bit further into that a little later on.
That's a sign to leave. You're getting an apartment. How is that a lie? 1 minute I was getting an apartment, and now I changed my mind and I'm going back to Kuwait.
That would be called a lie.
So how is that a lie? I was getting an apartment if I was staying here, but it turns out that I'm not staying here, so that's not a lie. The visa run. You don't know my visa run status.
Yes, we do.
And if I'm
Thanks for telling us.
purposely not telling you, that doesn't make me a liar.
That's exactly what that is. That's called lying by omission.
It just means I don't want to tell you. You lied about eating vegan food. Actually, I joke about that with you guys, but it actually was vegan food.
Girl, there's a whole video of you confessing to those nuggets not being vegan.
It actually was vegan nuggets. Go back and look at it. Go back and look at the video. That's such reaching. Who cares about that? Can you name something in this century? A lie can be a lie, even if there's no. The intention is everything in a lie.
There you go. That's the reason why it's the example they're giving is a lie. I'm gonna speak direct, okay? This would be the reason why, foodie, people don't believe you, because you lie by omission. You proceed to utilize things to pull at people to try to get them to bend to your will, to give you money, to pat you on the ass. And when you back out of it and you catch backlash, that is because it is a lie. People do not like to have their emotions fucked with. That's what makes it a lie. When you do it with ill intent, it is a lie. Yeah, her blood sugars were sky high, but we already knew that. They stay that way. Right. Some people wouldn't know anything about that level of privilege, unfortunately. My father was a child of war. It seriously affected him till the end of his days. How dare she? That's because she's a bigot and a fool. See. When you hop every 3 months, that's not suspicious. Right. But, we're all idiots out here. What could we possibly know? We could just see what's going on in front of us. That is gaslighting to the truest definition, what she does. I hope that at least her lies help her sleep at night. Doubtful. I highly doubt it. Joke, aka lie, because she doesn't have to tell anyone the truth. Yeah. Agreed. Girl. She doesn't even know what that means. Noro dehydrated her in her video at the hospital, how she had several bags of IV fluids. On the pulse, she was sick, and I bet her blood sugar got worse, being ill, losing fluids, and dehydrated. Well, I would imagine, honestly, that she walked in the door with an elevated blood sugar, then throw on top of it the fact that she was dehydrated from being ill. Okay, that'll cause a serum level increase on the blood sugar, on the sodium, and a couple of other things, because it would be kind of like anything else. If you put sugar, a tablespoon of sugar and 2 tablespoons of water, it's going to be really, really condensed. The sugar is going to stay really, really condensed. Versus putting 2 tablespoons of sugar into 8 ounces of water, it dilutes it down and it makes the distribution more normal. It would be about the same sort of summary in relation to your blood, That's just a quick, dirty explanation, if that helps. I don't know who she thinks she is, but she needs to dial it down with down a couple hours. Quite true. Her lies might help her sleep at night, but her conscience and struggle breathing keep her awake. Is her boob sticking up that much it looks deformed? No, she's got on an ill-fitting bra, is what it is. Does she sleep? More like eat herself into a coma and then starts again when she's conscious. Yep, true addict behavior. Having a virus or infection creates. Okay, it contributes to it, but does not always cause it. It's one of several culminating factors in it all. Yeah. Her bra is just really ill-fitting, you know what I mean? One day God is going to show her who he is, and that'll be an interesting conversation to have. She's hiding 2 hams on her stomach. Bro, she's hiding hams all over the place. I don't think she had Noro at all. I think it was DKA, and she had her own bathroom because of having C. diff. Well, I guess, honestly, we will never truly know because she's never 100% honest. The constant blood work, those 6 bags of fluids, then asking her to eat before she could leave. She probably got food poisoning from the Chinese buffet she gorged at before the ER visit. Could be. There are different factors involved. Realistically, if you'll think about it, Uncle Sal, she could have actually caught Noro at the buffet. I've worked at Victoria's Secrets and having seen her tits, she's most likely a B or a C cup. That's really hard to believe. Wow. Okay. All right, then Amber's teaching us something none of us thought we would have ever wanted to know. My husband spent 3 18-month tours in the Middle East, Iraq once, Afghanistan twice. He has PTSD. He came back to realize that he was the bad guy invading their country, and that's been hard for him. Nobody is ever really the good guy in that kind of situation, I hate to say. Her nipple is tired of the lies and trying to escape out the car window. That's funny.
Because you're being deceptive. I think you're putting out people gave you money. I did a video on that. I don't know if you didn't watch it. Obviously not, or you didn't hear. I made $37. 3 people donated, and I told them they can have their money back. I think my sick.
Oh. It doesn't matter how much money you get from fraudulent behavior. The act itself is still fraudulent behavior, whether it's 2 cents or $2 million. The act by which you attained that money was fraudulent. The difference, though, with your $37 versus an even greater amount of money would be the amount of charge that could have been applied to you if somebody had seen fit to go to law enforcement about it. I mean, I say that simply because as somebody who's been a prison nurse, who's been a jail nurse, who has worked in the system for an insanely long time, ideally, that is the only thing that really needs to be kind of discussed here. The level of fraud, not whether or not there is or is not fraud, because there's no question this is fraudulent action. It is what it is. Embrace it. Say you're sorry. Tell everybody, yeah, okay, I fucked around with your emotions. I had no business doing it, and suck it up.
sciatica is like gone. It's like healed, or it's whatever happens in remission. I don't know, because it hasn't hurt in a long time. Yeah, I honestly don't.
Could that be because you're not walking near as much now that you're in Canada land as you were being forced to in Kuwait? Old Scatman was doing everything he could to make your ass get up and walk. And you wasn't ready to have no part of it. She's not intelligent enough to think of an appropriate word to actually describe it. But in Canada land, we're going from couch to car, from car to couch to bed.
Care if people think I'm a scammer or
Good, because you are.
an e-beggar. I don't care. I really don't.
That
It's like
works.
Most creators or most reaction channels that are bitching about it have cash apps or something of some kind. Like,
True, but you know what? Nobody comes on here fucking with people's emotion to get donations.
you know. But I'll have to like leave some things behind. Probably. Maybe I'll leave some of my older clothes behind.
I left that in there because of specifically what she said. I would like to take everything with me, but I think I'm going to leave some of it behind. Some of my older clothes behind. Pretty sure she's leaving the older clothes behind because she can't fit into them anymore. I mean, we can look at her and see a sizable difference between where she is now and where she was then. She is still trying so hard to deny all that weight gain when it's readily apparent to anybody who has eyes. Right. Grifting. Was Sala pulling a joke on her with those glasses? I think so. I think he picked them out without ever seeing them on her head and just handed them to her. Here, baby, I got you a birthday present.
I know you guys don't have any emotional attachment to Salah, so you don't understand. But imagine if you were away from your husband for that many months. It would be hard for you, right?
You're right. Nobody out here has an emotional attachment to Sala. Nobody cares to. That's because he's a dick. He's a dick with a little one.
Teeny weeny, shriveled little short man.
And that's just all there is to it. Secondarily, there are plenty of people who are separated from their spouses who have absolutely no choice in the matter, but they make it work. There are people who go to rehab, who stay in rehab 3, 6, 9 months, a year to change their lives and to better themselves while their spouse is left to hold things up and to keep their world going. If those people can do it, there's absolutely no reason that you can't. But then, of course, you really don't want to change. You should just say that. I'm going to give you the same spiel that I gave ALR. You want to be a death fat asshole? Just say it. I want to be a death fat asshole and eat myself into an early grave. Just say it. Stop with the game playing. Stop with the weight loss journeys. Just own it. Say, I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'll die when I'm 45. I'm good with that. Girl, hey, that's what we call in the prison system birth control glasses, because you will never have to worry about anybody getting turned on by them bitches. That's gonna lay over little pickle. That's gonna lay over the little gherkin quicker than the rest.
Teeny weeny, shriveled little short man.
I mean, we know, unless it's somebody smaller than her, who's got a bigger booty than her, who can actually have kids, who's willing to deal with his psychotic, disgusting proclivities, he's not fixing to get a boner for anybody but that. He certainly ain't going for her. Right. I agree. And I've been saying it. If her and ALR both, if they would just say, you know what? I'm going to be who the fuck I want to be, and the fuck all the rest of y'all. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. And just be an asshole and quit playing the mind games and, virtue signaling and using everything as a shield. Just come on here and act an ass. People don't like Nall, but Nall is Nall. She is being exactly who she is in the moment. She ain't hiding behind nothing. And honestly, I got more respect for Nall than I've got for Foodie or ALR and will ever have, because she is not apologizing for who she is in that moment. Period. I can't stand nothing more than a fake bitch. And these two, they are steeped in it. I will never respect somebody like this. Never. Oh. Oh, I hope she enjoys sitting on it when she gets back, because that's as close as she's going to get to it. Ugh. God.
I don't want him to come here. I don't want to come here. I want to go there. Crystal, we have sex.
I don't want him to come here, because as soon as he gets here, he's going to drop you on your head, girl.
Central air. We have better AC there than here.
Oh, so now, Kuwait is at the cornerstone of air conditioning technology.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter which country you're in. If you have personal baggage, you have problems, personal problems, they're going to follow you, but
that goes back to that locational fix that I discussed earlier. Everywhere you go, there you are, ma'am. She made the comment, well, I can be healthy. If I can be healthy here, I can be healthy there. You're not going to be healthy anywhere until you do something about it.
Salad, yeah. A salad with a meal, sure. Go.
And that right there, y'all, will be why she's dead before she's 45.
Wait. I'm not your toilet. And
By the way, let's play that again.
Salad with a meal, sure. Get away. I'm not your toilet. And yeah, I'm scared of them. Get away. I'm not your toilet. And
I'm going to be making that a part of the soundboard, because, why not? Exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Let me back up here. Also, then she has responsibility for him. Well, I think probably what will happen, because of her tax circumstances, she is probably going to be more likely to get one of her family members to take responsibility for him, because, she's not going to do that. She won't even take responsibility for herself. I think she's in some tax or legal trouble, claiming her Kuwait flights and food as a tax write-off. I think she may try to, but she's still already backlogged on her taxes. She owes them a crap ton of money. It's not a Dr. Seuss book. She's not going to get healthy in a boat with a goat. Right. Nah, yet she ain't. I don't think he would go there. I think they'll beat her to it, to be truthful with you, Sal. Salo would be free to leave from the airport if he wanted. Plus, she'd be financially responsible for him, and that's why she doesn't want him in Canada. I don't think it'll ever happen. I will snag this for a new video. Knock yourself out, baby. Kuwait has an antiquated, failed electronic grid because of the rapid development. They have blackouts all the time. Let's see how she deals with that in the summer. Right. I've been waiting on it. She's just been lucky that it hasn't happened yet. Look at this. My homegirl hooking the girl up. When she comes to Canada to drain the system and gets her gift, she loves Canada. Now she wants to go back to Kuwait. The AC is better there. I know. The mental gymnastics. She ain't got shit on Simone Biles in her head, y'all. I mean, come on. There you go. You can't if you can't write it off if you don't pay it to begin with. You know what I mean? Wait until the giant ice cream girl. You ain't gonna have to wait on that because I cut that because it is nothing but bullshit. Every bit of that, and I wasn't fixing to bother. I'm downsizing for the next 2 years to get ahead financially. I'm talking 1970s prices in space next month. It'll be a sacrifice for living alone, but 18 months and I'll be back in black flush. That's the way to go, girl. That is the way to go. See, I'll tell you what my thing was. I worked all those jobs through COVID, was getting like the shift bonuses just for showing up on top of the COVID pay, working multiple jobs. You know, I was racking it. I ran myself half to death in the process, but, you know, did it, you know, in combination with selling the house that I moved out of to here, I come out ahead of the game. Maybe I can't be mad. I always look at it as temporary pain for long-term gain. That's the way I see it. If you're going to have to make some sacrifices for a minute, but the end goal was very, very sweet. She could never. There will be issues with imports because of the issues in the Middle East. Quite true. I could see that. Something is going on with her. She has a doctor's appointment for refills. Well, I think she's just doing that to refill because I think she's trying to avoid actually seeing a provider in the Middle East. Because I've said it before, but I'll say it again. In her mind, anybody who has any hint of melanin to their skin, she thinks she's smarter than them. So she's not likely to listen to them. She would be more likely to listen to a provider who has the skin shade like mine or like hers or like yours. You know what I mean? She is very much a bigot. If mental gymnastics burned calories, she would be like Eugenia Cooney. Yes, Lord. But, you know, too bad for her. That ain't the case. Consequences of her I'm having tongue-tied moments, y'all. Consequences. There we go. Of her actions is what's going on with her. True. Very, very true. Hey, Val. It's okay that you're late, baby. You made it. It's good to see you. My rent here is killing me. Killing me. And the new place is the same space, but the rent is a third. Girl, take it. Take it, take it, take it. Girl, you know she is staying baked as often as she can. Agreed. There is nothing quite like having that security, man. Let me tell you. We have all lived in the semi-truck for about 2 years to save money to buy property, and if all goes well, we should be ready to buy in the next few weeks. That is what I'm talking about. Heidi, what area, what region are you looking at? In Canada, I think she has to file for a legal work permit to work out of Canada legally. I don't know. That would definitely be something to look into. She has to pass medical check if she goes back. Yes, she has to treat some things. I don't know. She's been bouncing back and forth thus far. Foodie just went shopping for Lush products. How in the heck is she going to cart those through the airport if she goes back? They'll seize it all. Either that or they'll make her throw it out, depending upon the standards that they've got set up. Did she post another video or something? The medical checks aren't necessary for the tourist visa. See, I wasn't sure about that. Central Florida, Ocala area. All of y'all wanting to go to South Florida. Y'all cray going down there, man, but knock yourselves out. She's a citizen, so she can always work. There you go. Hakate coming through with the info. Then I'm going to file a 501c and start rescuing some animals. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm so glad you're willing to do that. I wish I had the money to be able to do something like that. I would love to. Really. Okay, we might have to do that here in a minute. The social insurance number doesn't expire so she can work, but health care, she's screwed if she doesn't come back. Couldn't happen to a nicer gal.
Yeah, I'm scared of diabetes, but probably not enough, I guess,
Obviously. I've talked so much on what her diabetes is doing to her body. Why is she not thinking about this? Even the simple fact that she's having to wear birth control glasses to even be able to see. That her foot is fucking numb all the time, and that's why she's dragging it around behind her. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so weird. Like when I decided to come here, it just like went away. We want to live in Kuwait. Why?
She was talking about the sciatica pain. Personally, I think that was all intentional. I think it was her putting on, her enjoying them pain meds, her playing a game so that she wouldn't have to walk, because Sala was wide the fuck open trying to get her to get out and walk and to make her do something she didn't want to do. I'm so glad y'all enjoy that. I mean, y'all laugh, but that's what we call them in the prison system. We call them birth control glasses. If y'all think that her glasses are ugly, wait. If y'all ever get the chance to see somebody who's in prison who's got state issued glasses, that's what they're called, birth control glasses, because they gonna kill anybody's possibility of actually getting laid. You won't ever have to worry about that again. Does Amber suffer from health issues like that? Foodie's on the brain. Foodie does. Foodie's got several. Not Foodie. Might as well be Foodie. The younger version of Foodie. They both have their own sets of health issues. Amber is completely in denial about hers. She won't even talk about them. She loves to say, "Oh, well, I'm healthy, you guys. All I have is lipedema and lymphedema." She's got other problems. She just refuses to acknowledge it. She's had the dark rings around the neck. She's got the darkening of the knuckles on the hands that are readily apparent and obvious, in people with diabetes. But she doesn't want to talk about it. She says it's people creating an issue that's not there, but she does. She's just not willing to get into it. Girl, I imagine I've seen your glasses, Rose. Your glasses don't look nothing like that, girl. Central Florida is too far for hurricanes, but only a few hours for some fun stuff. It's next to a national forest. It feels like a safe spot. Okay. I can't fault you that, But everybody I've noticed when they move to Florida, that's where they want to go, is down south down there, Amber does have several issues. She doesn't tell everyone all the time. She's very selective about it. Yep. That be it, girl. Let's see. Nope. I agree with you on that. Right, and that's the reason I'm saying that, because yours, and I've seen yours are not exactly like that either. There's some subtle differences between yours and hers, and they suit you. Hers, I don't know what Sala was thinking picking those out. I'm behind and enjoying your react. Thank you, Reality Chica. There was somebody who just said, hang on, there was somebody that I saw that said right there, "Hi, beautiful regret. I'm sorry. I missed you the first time. I just kind of didn't see it, but it's good to see you. It's good to have you. Hopefully you'll want to stick around, Glad you're here. There's actually a lot more people in here than I'm used to normally. Actually, hang on. Let me show you real quick. He's in his usual spot. Him in his usual spot. He went up on in his usual little perch and kind of watched for a minute and then went to sleep. Let's see. Both Amber and Foodie have the Simpson yellow skin behind all the filters. I have no question about that. There's going to be some discoloration coming. True fatty honeydew melon. Yes, watermelon. No. Right. ALR vapes, and she's not as healthy as she thinks. Delulu land, man. Bella, where are you at on the Gulf Coast? Because I'm on the Gulf Coast too. And we actually have hurricanes coming. Do we actually have some formed up? Or I don't even think we've gotten into hurricane season, have we? So I was thinking 99 cent. Right. He absolutely is. I will after the stream is done. His name, Bella, his name is Romeo. He is one of three. The other two have wandered around somewhere. I have him. That's Romeo. The black one is Jinx. And the black and white one is Little Mama. I have a trio. I have a salty pride. Let's see. I'm sure Florida's great, but I live so far north it's actually snowing at my house today. Whoo, you can keep that, Blue. Good gracious alive. He is, and he is a very sweet little boy all at the same time. He's a 2-for-1 special. Anna Maria Island. I can't say I've ever heard of that. I'm going to have to look that up. Let's see. Yeah, girl, you know how it is down here then. Clean out the dollar store first of supplies. Save money. Agreed. Wait till the cats get battle armor. Boy, let me tell you, I told y'all what happened about him beating up the cat across the street. Thankfully, we hadn't had no more episodes, so we got that going for us. Me staring at Salty's hands every time she talks with him. Girl, did you see the video that I sent you, by the way, of my nails? Here, let me show you. It's got color change polish. Like chameleon paint polish on them. Depending upon the angle you look at them determines the color. Oh, near Sarasota. Okay, I got you. I know where you're at now. That makes sense. I don't know a lot of the smaller names, but you give me landmarks, I can work with that. You know what I mean? Thank you, crab apples. I try. What does that say? She knows. Man, why didn't you take me with you when you went? We have a home in Nashville too, but live in Florida now. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I hope you're enjoying the place, man. Those of us that are raised here, we dig it. It is. I actually really enjoy it. My nail guy does a great job every time I see him. And by the way, he wants me to tell y'all hi every single time I go in there. He's caught up. He has like the very, very shortened version of what Girl World is. I don't think he would ever watch it. He is such a busy person that I don't think he would ever watch it. But he's always like, how's everything going with the channel? Well, tell him hi for me. But yeah, he's a super nice guy. He does amazing work. He took his time. He said this stuff like right here, because this is a powder. You can buy a powdered finish. You can buy it. I bought it off of Amazon, believe it or not. And he took the time to make sure that everything was perfectly smooth before he put it on so that there wasn't any imperfections in the reflection when you moved. So he is super duper good at what he does. And I love it. I love it. No, I'm going to look. I love it. That green was fire too. I know. Hey, that's why I keep going back to him, because he does great. Leona, I will absolutely pass it on. I love that. Hey, nail man. I actually mentioned to you, Hikate, because I was telling him, I was like, oh, hang on, let me take some video real quick. He's like, what are you doing? Are you putting that in a video? And I'm like, no, I'm sending it to a pal online. It's like, she told me she wants to see my nails every time I get them done. I said, she says that she wants to kind of copy what I'm doing because she likes my choices so much. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, well, that's cool. He's like, you're being an influencer. You're influencing someone. I said, well, I don't know about that, but she likes my choices. She likes your work. So I'm going to keep sharing it as long as she lets me or she wants me to. So, you know, my hands are rough and beaten up from years of manual labor. They're man hands. Now you would be surprised. You know, if you start taking care of them, making sure you can take care of the rough skin, get you some pretty nails done, girl. You could have them hands looking girly again. I'm in New Orleans, so I know about hurricanes. Luckily, my house is uptown where it doesn't flood. I'm raised 4 feet above the ground. That's the smartest move you could have ever made. I just ordered 2 cases of sugar-free Gatorade and batteries from Amazon, getting my hurricane kit 45-day hurricane season, 45 days away. Gotcha. Yeah, I got to get on mine too. I've got some of it, but not all of it. Yeah, I'm biting your style, man. Yes, influence me. It's fine. It's no big deal. You take the same sort of stance on things that I do. Everybody has something individual to them that actually everything has something attractive about them. It's really not hard to find if you know what to look for, And mine, I know what my hands look like. I get compliments on my hands all the time. You know, people have over my whole life have told me that I have really pretty hands. The other one is my eyeballs, and that's Abby Cat's thing. She has a thing about my eyeballs. But you know, it just depends on the person, what they each individual person is going to focus on a different thing, you know. Well, hey, no time like the present, Bella. Pick you a real girly color though, you know what I mean? When Adalia came through last year, it absolutely destroyed our business. It's been so hard rebuilding, but we are finally there. Yes. Knew you could get that handled, girl. I had faith in it. Let's see. Yeah. My historical house was built over 100 years ago, but I'm glad they figured that out. Girl, I am too, because what a mess that would have been. Agreed. Look at. That's one from my. Thank you. I appreciate that, Inferno. It's nice to get a dude's opinion. All the ladies, it's either my hands, my eyeballs, or my skin. It's one of the three. And I understand that because we're always talking about, well, what are you doing to make your skin look so good? And what about this? And what are you doing with this? And what are you doing with that? That's, it's one of those things. If she thinks your eyeballs are impressive, she should see your brass balls. Oh, girl, she's seen that too. That's come out a few times. You missed that entire stream about Kaya and her sex offender boyfriend. I went all the way off. Okay. I mean, it all came out. By the time I was done, Heather, I was so mad. My hands were shaking. It was wild. I had not been that angry in a long, long time. You know what I mean? All right, let's get back to this and finish this up. Jesus.
It's, you know what it is? It's unfathomable for people to believe that I want to live in the Middle East instead of here. As if there's nowhere in the world that's better to live,
Nobody is saying that Canada is better than anywhere to live, but your reasoning for wanting to live there is skewed.
No, he can't come here right now. We have who's going to look after Julia for that long?
Who was looking after her while y'all were up in Thailand? Is that your way of subtly letting us know that y'all dumped a bag of cat food on the floor and left that cat alone for weeks? I mean, come on.
It's not going to be housebound art. Honestly, I don't think I would be doing a lot here either. Actually, I don't understand why people complain. They watch somebody's content and then complain they don't like it. If you really just want to see somebody out and about all the time, then watch somebody who goes out and about all the time.
Ma'am, you used to go out all the time before you went to Kuwait. Then you quite literally became housebound. Why would you be surprised that anybody would feel a kind of way about the fact that you sit on the floor in the house all day and eat hubcaps full of rice? Especially when you've gone somewhere new where you haven't experienced anything. That is their way of being able to experience something through you. But because you're a twit and you don't ever leave the house because of God and whatever, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot. And then you wonder why your views suck. That's why. I found you through the house of Hannibal. Oh, well, welcome aboard, gal. I mean, me and Hannibal chop things up pretty regularly. You know what I mean? We have us a good time. We don't know how to act when we're together. I agree. I don't trust her not a bit. Yeah, she's out stalking Natter, but at least she was right. It's better than nothing. She wasn't spending the whole day in the house, Heather, I would have to send you some pictures. I am not shitting you. I am being for real. I mean, she was eating enough rice for a family of at least 6, if not more. He can't.
Oh, yeah, the war question. No, I don't have a plan. I mean, I guess I'll have to see what my options are, I don't know. I'm not really afraid of that. No, I can't just stay in Canada because it's not what I want to do. Why would I do something like that other people want me to do?
It's not just that they want you to do it. It's what you need to do. People are wanting you to stay there because they see the path of self-destruction that you're on that you're completely blind to, gal. That's the nicest way that I can think to say it.
You know, I can get well there.
No, you can't. You absolutely can't. I did see that, and it just about was. But you know, I didn't want to watch any of that, and I wasn't about to subject anybody else to that. Her and her tongue. You know what I wasn't fixing to do that to nobody. Right. Well, not to her. Not to her.
My blood sugar was higher, like, when I first got to the hospital because of the fact that, one, I was stupid and picked up a strawberry lemonade, like a fruit juice from Booster Juice, but it was like all real fruit, but it was still high in sugar.
That's not the only reason why our blood sugar was that high, y'all.
And when your body's under stress and sick, your blood sugar tends to be higher. So then by the time I left the
It has nothing to do with stress. I wish you quit fucking telling people that.
hospital, when I got there, it was like 17. And then when I left the hospital, it went down to like 12.
Right. The power of insulin at work. Praise the Lord. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Maybe I'll feel different if it really happened. Like right now, I'm like, don't think that anything will happen.
Where have we heard that before? She's being told over and over again by every person, people in her comment section, me, Life and Vibe. You got other people and other people's live stream chats telling her you're going to lose your eyesight, your kidneys are going to be fucked, you're going to lose one of your feet, and what happens? She continued, I don't believe it's going to happen. That is her perpetual resting state. She doesn't ever believe anything is going to happen. And the fact is, when shit blows up in her face, she fucks around and eventually finds out. Then she wants us to pat her on the ass and give her super chat money because we're supposed to feel sorry for her. That is not how this works. And I'm sorry, but any little bit, I'm past the point of having that empathy there because she knows exactly what is causing the issue and she does nothing about it. Nothing. Oh, absolutely. Sugarfoot's going the way of the dodo bird. It's a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
You know, just because I'm short and fat and out of shape doesn't mean I can't do something. Who mentally and physically have a hard time with routine like that. So I find that so.
Her saying just because she would not be on the front lines in a war if it came to Kuwait, but she would find a way to do something. I don't think an influencer is what they need. I don't think a YouTuber is what they need. I don't see her being, they would literally probably ship her out of the country just to get her out of the way. I love how paranoid she gets when she sees someone coming up in the truck. That's because she's burned so many bridges with people. She has. And isn't it funny how she wants to be all big and bad when that camera's on, but anytime she's confronted, she turns into a puss. Let's see. She doesn't believe anything will happen to her because nothing ever has so far. Quite true. It's never a problem until it becomes a problem. The leg is hollowed out so she can get contraband through the airport. She did. You know she did. When she loses her feet, she's going to look like a weeble. That's true. Right. I agree. She gets winded sitting in her car yapping about food, but she can get better, guys. Right? The level of delusion is off the charts, y'all. Before anything else, she needs some serious, intensive mental health help. I have no idea. I'm waiting on it.
Time consuming. That's why I'm indoors a lot as well, because I just don't find there's a lot of time, you know?
She goes through this whole explanation of how busy her day is when she's in Kuwait. And she starts with, well, I get up and I feed the cat and I feed the hamster and this and that and da 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 da. And I do a load of laundry and then I cook and then I do this. I mean, like she literally laid out her whole fucking day, which we know, y'all, if you condensed every bit of that down, if you didn't count all the time that she sat down in between while she's waiting for moving stuff from the washer to the dryer, she said that doing the laundry takes 2 hours. I just can't. Number 1, mental and emotional health to addiction and lying. From what she shows, she eats and eats. Basically, she orders, and she mukbangs. That's it.
I'm very strong-willed. Like when I have my mindset on something. So if I'm like, okay, I'm going to Canada, I try every way to make it work. Like that I can to go back. So yeah, like I want to make that happen. And then I guess I don't know, with weight loss, it's like. Because
Romy.
When I really want something, I really set out to do it. I always usually do. So when it comes to weight loss, it's like, I don't know, maybe I guess I just love food too much still,
So I'll re-summarize instead of going back. What she said was that when she decides that she wants to come to Canada, she does consult Sala about it, but she's very strong-willed and he will not talk her out of it. When she sets her mind to something, she makes it happen. But with the weight loss, it's harder to do because she guess she still loves food too much. I wonder why. You don't say, hey, why are you aggravating him? Why are you aggravating him? He wasn't bothering you. Hey, come here. He wasn't bothering you. Don't bother him. This is Boo. This is the Boo Me and Jinxie Boo. Hi. You being a rascal, aren't you? You being a rascal, aren't you? Being a rascal? Being a rascal? Yeah, Rome made a real quick little cameo. He wanted to come down and speak, but now I've got Mr. Jealous Butt here. Mr. Jealous Butt come in and he got back up on top of the bookshelf. He's a mess. He's a mess. He's very jelly. He's a jelly boy. He don't like nobody getting his attention. She is close to a cardiac event that'll be serious. I have no question about it. And she'll be incredibly lucky if it doesn't kill her right off the bat. She's so delusional. Does she not realize that we know what her day is in her days in Kuwait are like? Yes, I know. Romeo has your nephew's full attention. Oh, hi, little nephew. He likes to try to talk her out of leaving. Right. Highly doubtful. I bet he is wide open, speeding to the airport with a smile on his face like he was on the first trip over. She throws fights. She throws fights and fits until she gets what she wants. Basically, the flights say high risk towards Kuwait due to war. Right. And she just flat don't want to hear it. No, you are spoiled, stubborn, and manipulate people to make things happen and get your way. Basically. Yeah, that's my floof. The fella Jinx, my little boo man. He's a floof. He's a sweetie boy. He's a very jelly boy, but he's been the only boy for a long time. So now that Romeo's around, he still hasn't quite figured out what to do with himself. He is. All my kids are sweet. They're unusual characters in their own way. Her eyes are giving sign that she's lying. Oh, if her lips are moving, she's lying, beautiful. You know that.
I don't think Salah's in the chat. You were indoors before you even met Salah. People act like you were on hiking each day. Hi, Colleen. Yeah, Yeah, according to them, they're always like, she's broke.
We done covered this already. Yes, you spent a lot of time in your house, but you spent an equal portion of time outside of your house. You literally left the house every single day. How it is that she wants to completely overlook this to justify the decision making is beyond me. Well, that's all right, Cobes. It's all good, girl. You made it back. That's what matters. But upswing is you got yourself a good nap in. It's all good. Hi, baby. She's 40 and lives at her mom's, who won't let her stream from the house. Exactly. What about her peaky history of blood clots? She's supposed to be on Coumadin daily. Who does her labs in Kuwait? She's a risk flying with blood clots. I agree, and she ignores that too. I will be honest, I don't even think that she told the physicians in Kuwait that she even has that issue, because there was no blood work done to review her clotting factors. You know what I'm saying? According to her, she's broke. Right. She just got through saying that. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, according to them, they're always like, she's broke, she's too fat, she's too ugly, he won't love her, it's just using her. Well, I have nothing to use. Like, I'm, if I'm all those things. What the heck?
Okay, so nobody really cares how much money you've got. That's not really the whole point behind everyone questioning him being with you. Okay. Realistically, people only question that because of other factors. Your weight doesn't really have anything to do with it either. It has to do with the fact that you're an asshole, an intolerable asshole. You are a dick to everybody that you encounter, in combination with the other two things. You're not physically attractive, despite your level of delulu, ma'am. So you obviously didn't win him over by being cute. And you've freely admitted yourself that you don't make nearly as much money as you used to, so you can't pay for him to be there. So the fact that you're an asshole, but yet he still chooses to tolerate you, is the reason why people have these questions and make these assumptions. People would probably have the exact same assumptions if you were only 200 pounds. It has nothing to do with any of that. You're an asshole. That's just all there is to it. It's not rocket science but then, in her mind, she doesn't believe that she is. We're all the assholes out here, you guys.
It's so easily spread, and it's resistant to some cleaners. And it's been going around bad. So all it takes is like one person with norovirus to use the washroom that you went in. And I did wash my hands. It doesn't matter. You can still get it.
Now, I'm not saying that what she is saying is not accurate, because it is accurate. But I will tell you what I am going to say. Are you ready? When you got a dangling immune system, that's probably more likely the reason that you got it. Just saying. Because healthy people who wash their hands are less likely to get it than an unhealthy person with a dangling immune system who claims that they wash their hands. Oh, Jesus, y'all. All right. We're going to do us a palate cleanser. Okay. Why doesn't he work, or does he? Well, she claims that he works. She claims that he's a business owner, but he's not. So there's honestly no actual telling what he does. You know what I mean? But honestly, it seems like he's just a bum at this point. Right, if she actually had it. Whether he works or not, that is inconsequential and irrelevant to her getting healthy and becoming a better person. Quite true. That ain't all is dangling. You know it. Exactly. Claims to wash her hands. This is the woman who supposedly washed her hands and she just ran them under some water. It's not the same thing. Salad has a 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. job in the brothel district. Right. Her exact words. Your man doesn't work either. Okay, so I'm fixing to take me a little poke at Hikate because I don't even know if she actually remembers watching this, but we're gonna watch it just because it makes me laugh, and I have a feeling it might make you guys laugh too. This right here is a police apprehension gone wrong, where the man decided to tell the cop that his safe word was pineapple juice. This is just for shits and gigs, you guys. This is probably the funniest arrest video I've ever seen, and it will never not be funny to me.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Yeah. This is this car over here that got broken into? Yeah. Guy's name is Andrew Nelson. Can you go inside this smoke shop and see if he's inside for me? Yeah. Thanks.
Hikate, this is the whole video.
Andrew. Oh, get the cop. You can't take me? Hold on, real quick. Why are you taking me? Get on the ground. I can't even sit. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. It's hot out here. Get on the ground.
Just a little context, you guys. This is not an actual police chase, even though it's listed as one. The gentleman in the tactical vest, he is he's basically the equivalent of a bounty hunter. The gentleman that he is chasing jumped bond. He's in a stolen vehicle, and he is giving this fella a run for his money. You're right. He jetted like he jetted.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. This was a problem. I got a warrant for your arrest with the bail bonds company. Get on the ground. Bail bonds? Bro, you out here tacticaled up. Looking like you. Oh, shit. Bro, you looking like you about to get tased.
Oh, shit.
I'll tell you that right now. I'm about to go on you. Come on, real quick.
Just talking about the taser real quick. The taser does get activated. It does not get used on him. It actually, in the original video, he actually puts it in writing across the screen. There is something wrong with the deployment on the prongs. So whenever he activates it, the prongs don't do anything. Okay? He just zaps for a minute just to test it.
Bro, you're talking gold. You're done, bro. You're fucking done, dude. Bro, you're fucking done, dude. This is tough. You're fucking done, dude. I'll get down. You're done. Dude, you're fucking done. How do you know where I was at? Bro, I can do this all fucking day long, bro. Hey, it's nighttime. Lady, I can't even see your face. My eyes is burnt out. The whole world. Oh, shit! Shadow Man. The Black Thunder. Chocolate Thunder. Only out here running. It's hot. Humid. Like all day, bro. It's not day, I told you! We all need to live a little. Wake up every day for the same damn job, the same check. I mean, at least your job is fun. How do I do that? They sign up?
I love that. At least your job is fun. How do I do that?
Or do you gotta be a major?
Hi, Sigma.
Real talk to me. Get on the ground. You whisper something out here. Get on the ground. It's really go. You fast, brother. You ain't fast, my job. I'm a feminist. Okay? There you go. Good. I just want you to know, you ain't get me. I got you. We're done. Oh, I'm tired. I'm hot. Don't tase me. That shit just stings.
My safe word is pineapple juice. You got it?
Put your hands behind your back. Palms up. Put your hands behind your back. Both hands.
It's warm.
Stay just like that. Cross your ankles.
Ooh.
Cross your
You
ankles.
gonna take pictures?
Stay just like that. You understand me? Bring your ankles up to your butt.
Swap man, what's my safe word?
Bring your ankles up to your butt.
That's how far I go. You think I'm at Pilates?
Stay just like that.
I think I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm out of breath.
He did not deploy on the guy, just so y'all know.
What you doing? Ooh, oh, that's cute.
Stay just like that. Stick this hand up just like that. Don't move it.
Word. Can I change it to pizza? No, I'll stick with pineapple. I like pineapple. Ooh.
Right.
Oh, watch your hands, bud.
I love the sounds this guy makes. It just tickles the shit out of me. I can't help it.
That's my, don't do that. That's my lighter. It don't work. Don't do drugs, kids. Those are my quarters. Want to put those in your pocket? That is change. You know how long it took me to acquire those? Some of those are limited edition. That's my flash drive. Don't look at it unless you want to see Big D. That's my wallet. You have no. Ooh. And watch your fingers, booty hole man. He's strong. Ooh. No wonder y'all together. Hey, real talk though. Every strong man got a sensitive side. You like doing the weird shit. What's your safe word? Yeah.
That to me, you like some weird shit. What's your safe word?
Untie him. Gosh, ooh, you need help? I'll hold my boot for you. And here's the thing. With these boots, they're sensitive. Limited edition. You gonna drag me down the highway? Hey, real talk though. In my car, I got snacks. Would you mind
The priorities,
getting my snacks for
y'all.
me?
Huh? No.
Ooh.
Stand up.
You said don't stand up.
Stand up.
Don't gotta be so aggressive. Cutting off the circulation to my hand. Ooh.
Button first. Get your legs in.
Remember what I said?
The only part, damn it, I wish they hadn't cut off.
Hydrated, healthier skin.
Shut up. I wish they hadn't cut it off. The agent gets back into the car to take him to the jail for processing. And he's sitting in the back and he's like, I was wondering after this, if you'd like to go get something to eat. He's singing in the back to him. I saw that video when it first popped up online, and it will never not be funny. I mean, him talking about those are limited edition, and him going, ugh, that is just the funniest shit ever. I gave it to Hecate when she was on live the other night. She had her a good buzz going. She was tripping, but it was funny. It was funny to watch her reaction to it. It is just beyond silly. And I know she said at some point, she's like, what's this guy's name? They actually said it in this video. And I would really be curious to look him up to see what he's doing. Because the dude he's silly. He's funny. He's not even trying to be. He's just being himself. Let's see. Let me back up, man. There's a lot of y'all. I had y'all tickled with this, did I? Let's see. Fun until you have to hunt down a dangerous felon. Hey, Heather, girl, there was a bunch of them folks at the prison that had to be tased as a part of their training. And they would bring them to us to make sure that they didn't have any problems after the fact. Some of it is just they were still shook even after they walked them to. It was just a palate cleanser, Miss Bella. I figured it would be funny. The dude is a trip, and the fact that he put that he made that guy work for his money that night. I know he absolutely could have continued to outrun him, and I don't even know why he didn't. He could have got away, but I mean, they knew who he was. The agent knew who he was. He jumped bail. He'd seen him. It was too late. He put a face to the name. So, I mean, I don't know. I can tell he's an annoying boyfriend. He doesn't take shit seriously. Well, but that could actually kind of be a good thing if you'll think about it, because it doesn't matter what it is that you could possibly have problems with. He's going to be like, it's no big deal. Just take a breath. It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through it, whatever type. Because if him getting arrested don't bother him, you know that the rest of life ain't going to upset him. If dude wanted to attempt to get out of a resisting arrest charges from them, he could use the taser deployment on him after he was on the ground, despite it not being operational. True. But at this point, I think he had just kind of accepted it, you know. But thankfully, you know, the guy didn't actually, he knew that his taser wasn't working. He just, I guess, was supposedly testing it, is what he had relayed in the video off of his stream, because this video actually came off the agent's stream. I have a 10K volt item. My friend's husband is 6'5" and 325. He volunteered. His wife zapped him. He dropped like a bag of rocks. That's awesome. If this was a real arrest situation, that is. Well, this is really more of a bail jump sort of thing, I guess, but I'm not sure. But the officer actually has his own channel. He actually goes out and films while he picks people up. I was about to say this was not a real arrest with law enforcement. It's still funny. No. This dude right here, he's not an actual cop. He's just like basically like a private duty bounty hunter type deal to snatch people up from warrants. It is. And that was the whole thing between him saying, watch your hands, and hey, watch your fingers, booty hole man. I just couldn't help but not share it with y'all. Cause I know stuff kind of gets popular for a second and then it kind of disappears again. And it kind of travels through particular circles, but that made its way through one of mine because of me working in corrections, you know. I was certified LEO one time. Your sponsor department had to tase you and OC you. Honestly, would rather be tased than sprayed. Agreed. Can't run forever if you don't go far from where your warrant is. Very true. Very true. A defense lawyer would be pissing themselves with glee if a video with that was to be given to them in a client's case. I could see that. Makes perfect sense. So while we're here, is there anything in particular that y'all want us to go over? Because, you know, I'm open to anything that we hadn't gone over thus far. Y'all got anything y'all want me to check out? Oh, we're supposed to be looking at this stupid Lush thing. Hang on, y'all. Oh, hell, and Bali's still coming after Breezy here. This was after her going off on her own stream. She says, how are you, Breezy? You blocked me, so I write you here. In your stream from some time ago, you speak about your daughter's second mother and how this woman was so kind and supportive to you, but sadly, she passed away from a terminal illness. I would like to hear more about this tragic story, and I think other people also. As well, you are sober since long and single. Also, you still fancy baby daddy, so truly open up and tell us why it didn't work. Whew. She's playing some games, y'all. Let's see. Foodie Beauty Lush video. Oh, 17 minutes? Are you shitting me? Hang on, let me mute this because we're not listening to all this extra foolishness in this thing. A lot of road video. We're going to skip to that. A lot of junk, a lot of filler. All right, now. I got us to a part where she's actually talking. We're not looking at road. We're not looking at bridges and God and everything else.
Vlog today. I'm doing a bit of shopping. I'm going to go to Lush. Right now we're at
I'm cool with that, man.
And we're going to have lunch after. So yeah, come with us. Just going to go see if they have anything of interest, maybe.
I don't know. Just have a look around. Summer's coming, so cool items are important. I used to love ring pops as a kid. These are the cheesies. Hawkins. Canadian. My wallet for today. Might get some socks. You can always use some socks. What? Chocolate socks? Why can't cows wear shoes? Because they lack toes. Oh my gosh. Goodbye. Ooh, these are cute. I gotta
Those are hideous.
find a way to get earrings
Yes.
on my hijab. Excuse me, do you know where the pickles are? And this is my casual outfit for today. Big head alert. They have a plus size that goes up to 3X, meaning probably not too much will fit me here. This shirt for summer looks nice and light. I really like the style of this.
So we're walking around pointing out clothes that don't fit us. Make that make sense. That would be like me going to Forever 21 and shopping for clothes that are 4 sizes too small for me.
Giant Tiger, like I said, it's pretty much like a Canadian Walmart. As you can see, they have things for pretty cheap. So it's actually even cheaper than Walmart, I've noticed. They had some really, really good
That's because it's not like Walmart. It's basically like a Dollar General market.
deals, actually. $1.50 for a bag of these Epsom salts is pretty good deal. So I'm just gonna get a couple of bags for taking baths back home, which I do enjoy doing. I'm gonna get 1 eucalyptus and 1 vanilla and probably just mix the two together.
Ew.
Oh my gosh. I literally cannot even smell Hawaiian ginger without being traumatized from my teenage
Right.
years. You guys remember this stuff? I want the prize. Got some sauces here. Olive Garden Ranch. P.F. Chang's sesame and teriyaki sauce. Buffalo Wild Wings. Arby's. I spotted rice cakes. These are my favorite to snack on.
Okay, so that answers the question about the planner it being dill rice cakes. Blech.
I love the dill, and I also love the all dressed. So the only solution is get a bag of each. I found these gourmet popcorn flavors very interesting. Would you guys try these? I love this dill pickle powder, but I'm not going to get it today. So they had like a bargain sale section, and I always check it out. They had some tea on sale for less than $2. And I think this milk thistle is good for you, isn't it? Then they had these like bargain bin can of peanuts, and ketchup and dill pickle are my favorite, so I hope they're not stale. Who even eats these giant hosts? I don't get it. Like, they sell Cineplex movie theater nacho cheese now individually. Interesting. It's shake and bake, and it helps. Yeah, I'm a sucker for shake and bake. Yeah. My favorite candy in the world? These sour soothers since I'm a kid, but I'm not going to get them today either.
So processed crap, nothing but salt, nothing but sugar. Way to go. Diabetes maintenance award goes to anybody but foodie.
You know you're at a bargain
Jesus
store when there's a
Christ.
huge bin of stovetop on sale. Vegetable thins are some of my favorite crackers as well. They're really good. I know a pretty princess who would love to sleep in this cute basket. And here's their like home section where you can get all kinds of cute little things for your home, like bathroom goods, soap holders, towels, and some really cute dessert candles.
These are so cute. Bit of nostalgia in the game section. Oh my gosh, they still sell Operation. That's like the ultimate jump scare when you're trying to get that little bone out and that bone. Oh yes, buddy. Oh yes. This mug says La vie est belle. Bien sûr, la vie est belle. Shopping mall, and it's time to get down to business.
Ugh,
I am seriously going to do some damage
she's
at
killing
Lush.
me.
I cannot wait.
That's what she said, but of course. Exactly, Nutty.
Turn your low energy into big.
Shut up. More filler. Jesus Christ.
Popped into this really cool earrings. It's different kind of handle. Leaf flavored minty tastes like. And keychains. I drink like these bags. Here we are, Lush.
About fucking time.
Like I
Jesus
said, I
Christ.
have some gift cards for my birthday to spend here, and I cannot wait.
Right. Now, okay, I'll tell you what she doesn't do, which for those of y'all that were around for Vlogmas this past year, I went to Lush. There's a Lush the next county over from where I'm at. What you notice what she doesn't say when she's in there. She doesn't talk about how the place smells. As soon as the door opens, you are overwhelmed with a culmination of every scent of every product in there. I mean, to the point where you almost can't breathe. If you stay in there longer than 15 minutes, your sinuses will be just pure running. So I wonder how it is that she doesn't notice that, because even if she stinks to high heaven, which, you know, everybody like, she doesn't bathe, she doesn't wipe. I get it. That's fine. So she's nose blind to herself, but there is no way in hell she'd be nose blind to what is going on in that store. I'm telling you guys, it is overwhelming to the senses, because not only can you smell it, you can sort of taste it too. Well, believe it or not, Bath and Body Works is nothing like this, because all of the Bath and Body Works stuff is in packaging. As you see here how all this stuff is out on the counter like this, all this open stuff, it's all that way, including their bath bombs. Their bath bombs are sitting in baskets, and you take little tongs and pick them up and put them in your little baggie because, you know, whatever. Visual appeal, I guess. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you, it kicked my butt after being in there just long enough. I went in there, I walked around for a minute. I found 2 bath bombs that I was like, I'm just going to try something just so I can say I tried something. I bought 2 bath bombs, bought some gift cards, and I dipped the out, because it is exactly what Saul is saying, an olfactory assault on the senses. It is, it's overwhelming. It is insane. I just can't. You're really not missing much. Man. Objection. She's nose blind due to an overwhelming odor of fish and moldy pizza. Well, that's a good point. Sustained. She can only taste the back of her tongue and the sinus juices. In her defense, that's nasty. She's gone, well, right. I agree with that. I agree with that. We'll continue. But I just can't understand how it is that she is not so blaringly obvious to her when it was to me. In her defense, she's a haram pig who has a radius of odor she can't get around on her own. She can help that, but doesn't. And here we are. That's an excellent point. It is incredibly overpriced. Sensitive skin and can't use their stuff with all the fragrances and chemicals. The crazy thing is, do you know that they claim that all their stuff is completely natural, and it may be, not whatever, but it is just, it's a lot. It's a lot.
All right, so I'm definitely getting a huge bottle of this Oud Hess, if I'm saying that right, shower gel. It smells delicious and amazing. This Posh chocolate body wash, which smells like chocolate and smells amazing. I'm also going to get some yummy custard body wash. It smells sweet and delicious. And some Posh white chocolate and rose. I wanted to try some of the perfumes I've never smelled before. So I saw that they had a perfume card here, and I decided.
You see, she was fixing to spray it on herself before she realized that the spray stick was there.
To smell one called Alina, and it actually smells really, really good. I have to research the story behind it. I definitely have to pick up a couple of massage bars. I know my husband will love these. So I'm going to get an After, which has magnesium, and I'm going to get a Therapy massage bar. I'm also out of.
She said she was going to go to therapy, you guys. There it is. That's as far as she goes.
My face moisturizer, so I'm going to pick up my favorite, which is Skin's Shangri-La. I love their soaps as well, so I decided to get a couple of those. I actually ended up getting a Goddess soap and a Strawberry Heart soap, and I also got a piece of Sultan of Soap, which is a classic, and it's one of their best. So yeah, the Goddess also, I was so surprised how nice it smelled. Now,
more junk food, more filler, more filler, more food. Y'all be sure to document this, because this right here is the closest thing to salad we will see, an actual salad for her to eat from now till God knows where, you know. More food. Oh, buffet. That's just what she needed. Well, she just completely, the little bit of healthy choices she made in relation to vegetables has just been completely fucked by the rest of that plate. Jesus, let's see what she's saying.
Shock. But I did get quite a bit of food, but man, that was pricey. Overall, the ambiance at this place is just really cool. And again, they make everything fresh and organic, so it is worth the price in the end.
More filler.
We're enjoying the vlog so far.
Look, more filler.
Way to get to the car.
See this? Let me back up. Listen to her breathing. When she was saying, "Oh, I went on about a 15-minute walk," this is her walking from the restaurant to the car.
The rest of the people I'm with today are looking.
That lets you know that her 30 minutes of walking did not happen. She, even with the lovely filters that she likes to use, that face is still good and red. She's breathing. She's struggling with the breathing, all that. This is her walking, not that other video we saw.
In like a bookstore, and honestly, I'm just not interested, so I'm going to the car to get water. Alright guys, while I have a few moments alone and I'm waiting for people to come back to the car, I'm just going to end the video here. So I just want to hear, so yeah.
Low BMI voice.
I might get a few snippets of that, but
hard pass. More filler. All right, so basically another shite video, which nobody should be surprised by. Let me back up, y'all. I honestly think so, because I mean, I don't see anybody else really wanting to spend time with her like that. Basically what it sounds like. I mean, the mold that they put it in puts like raises and like raised areas and grooves and stuff like that. It's basically just a fancy decorative bar of soap. I don't want to hear her cry broke if she's eating like that. True. Hi, Seafood. Good to see you. Yeah, it's okay that you made it in late, baby. At least you made it. You can always do the hit the replay if you want to. Right, exactly. So fresh so she can eat as much as she wants, guys. Right. I mean, God forbid, none of it counts. She absolutely is. It's just a matter of time. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I'm there's eventually going to come a point where there's going to be some sort of impromptu notice that she's just keeled over dead. You know what I'm saying? Right. The sad thing is, and somebody said it earlier, that I meant to click on it to read it, but somebody said previously that they had seen an overweight woman die because the chest compressions were ineffective, and that is exactly the way things are going to go for Foodie, because of how she carries all of her weight to the front like that. I've seen it. It is almost impossible to do effective compressions on somebody that's built like this. You know, she's playing games, just like Bella's saying. It's going to be impossible. Right. The only upswing of her being on a ventilator is that will be the only way she'll ever lose weight. That'll be the only shining light in it all. We already have a horror cow. King Yo Mama crowned himself. Oh, okay. Well, more power to him. I guess if he's willing to wear that cap, knock himself out, I guess. Well, I imagine that they did that. Shoot, I'm tongue-tied. I imagine it probably didn't go as far as she hoped for. I mean, you guys saw it. One bar of soap is $14. I mean, even though I understand they're supposedly vegan and they're supposedly handcrafted and all that stuff, $14 for a bar of soap is ridiculous. And honestly, I mean, I've told y'all, I buy handmade soap. I have a girl that I found on Etsy. She makes honeysuckle soap because I just love the smell of honeysuckle. And it's $7 a bar. And it is actually handmade, unlike the stuff at Lush. Even though I know they say that it's handmade, it's still mass produced. They can't have as many stores as they do and ship directly to, and actually produce enough product to do that without it being actually mass produced, versus small batch stuff like the girl that I order my stuff from. So I don't think she will make it off of event. Probably not. I wouldn't think so. Yeah, we all joke about being a cockroach, but she cannot keep doing this to her body forever. She can't keep doing this forever. Her body will give up eventually. Absolutely. How the fuck has her body not given up yet? Or is she really a cockroach? She probably as close as you're ever going to get to a human equivalent. Yeah, because she's done so much to herself, that I'm surprised she's lasted this long. I don't think she would make it to be put on a ventilator, let alone get off one. The likelihood's pretty slim, I think, honestly. I mean, based on what we know of her, I mean, she's already got problems with like heart failure, enlarged heart, so she's got damage going already. And then throw in her eating habits and the fact that her cholesterol is probably sky high. She honestly would never, Bella. Even then, she has that mindset, never going to happen to me. That's the way she sees it. Same way with the war thing. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. She treats everything in her life that way. Oh, yeah. And I honestly think that there's no doubt in my mind that she's got some congestive heart failure going on, because that's why I think the one side of her face is more swollen than the other. because it's the same way with her hands. One of her hands is a little bit bigger than the other. She does. She absolutely does. She's at this point, I honestly believe that she's living on borrowed time. And I've said it to her and I've said it to ALR. At the bare minimum, if she gives a shit about anybody if either of them give a shit about anybody that they're close to, then they would pay for some sort of insurance to cover burying them, because otherwise they're going to be leaving them with serious bullshit to deal with after they're dead. Actually, cockroaches aren't as tough as previously thought. Scientists proved and explained how they are immortal imposters. Well, they can survive just about every form of bug spray you can imagine, which is really, really wild. She knows what the ICU is like. Her grandmother was in there before she died. Well, the girl was high as a kite when grandma was in ICU. She don't remember most of that, you know. How does she not have a hiatal hernia or severe GERD? She probably, I would imagine that she does. You notice that she complained, like when she was eating the pizza, she was talking about indigestion, the tomato sauce giving indigestion. She has problems with GERD. There's no question, because she eats and then she lays down, and that's just the way she does things. And you see it a lot in the elderly, especially those in the nursing home. They eat breakfast, they lay down, take a nap. They eat lunch, they lay down, take a nap. They eat dinner, they lay down and go to bed. You know, and every single one of those people in the nursing homes, they are on some sort of reflux medication, whether it be Protonix, Prilosec, famotidine, you name it. They're all on something to kind of keep them from having those problems. So, and she, as bad as I hate to say it, even though she's 40 years old, she is basically an elderly person at this point, you know. Right. There's another example. Hi, Blondie. It's okay that you're late, baby. You made it. That's what counts. We're just chit-chatting. We chit-chatting, you know? Yeah, you can catch up. You can start over and catch up. It's no big deal. No big deal. Sound out to Blondie. What's up, Blondie? OJ gives a lot of people heartburn. It's super acidic. Yes, it is. But, you know, with her, she has reflux problems. There's no question about it. You know, that's just par for the course, I think, with her, that the OJ is going to do that to her. I mean, most people don't have that problem with tomatoes, you know, tomato paste and tomato sauces, but she does. You think cockroaches are tough? They ain't got nothing on Keith Richards. Right. Keith Richards is, whew, man, the end of the world. It'll be Keith Richards will be walking around going, what happened, man? She eats so much that her elevated blood sugars make her lethargic. You can see her going downhill during her mukbangs. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Bella, I've called her a mass casualty event in one body, because there's multiple points of destruction going on. Hell, he'll be Keith Richards will be walking around snorting the dust off the ground, going, "That's some good shit." He's done some for real stuff over the years. He ain't gonna be killed off by nothing. That right there. Right, there you go. I'm still amazed that Ozzy outlived Lemmy. Well, I think the only reason why is Ozzy stopped early enough that, you know, he didn't kill himself you know, he didn't do nearly as much damage as long term, you know. But that's part of the reason why, like, he's got a lot of the stuff with the stutter, you know. He's got damage there. There's no question about that. No. How about this, y'all? Hang on, let me open this up here. I was really, really shocked. I found, by accident, a picture of Ozzy Osbourne when he was young, and I didn't even realize this was him. I actually was like, who is that? That somebody had posted it somewhere. And I was like, who is that? So I looked it up. Can y'all believe that this right here is Ozzy Osbourne? I was shocked. I was like, holy shit, he was a nice looking man when he was young. Drugs are a hell of a thing, y'all. Drugs will mess you up. He was a very, very nice looking man back then. See, there's another one. Color photo. He was a very handsome man way back then, way before he started destroying himself, bless his heart. Yeah, he was very cute. You know, it was really hard to believe that's who he was, you know. You know, the doctors have literally evaluated Ozzy's DNA, and they say all those years of drugs and alcohol abuse have literally altered his DNA. I could see that. That wouldn't shock me. Yeah, it's like early Sabbath recording days. I was well before he got headlong into his addictions. God bless him. Yeah, way back then, he was a nice looking fella. He was a nice looking man before he just kind of gave up on himself. Bless him. He's an amazing artist, though. He will never not be an amazing artist. I mean, but you know, it's sad that he went through all that and did such damage to himself. This is why Josh thinks he looks a lot like young Oz. No, hell to the nah. Josh needs to have his eye exam updated, because he's got some heavy duty beer goggles on, my dude. It absolutely did age him, and it's really sad. And a lot of people actually, with prolonged drug use like that, it does age people. Explains the hair and everything. Sharon, right, kids. Don't do drugs. Going back to our guy with the arrest. Don't do drugs, kids. Thank you for this missing link. I'm just sharing, you know, because I bringing that Keith Richards brought the Ozzy up, because Ozzy's, they were all kind of in the same boat together for a long time. I never know what the hell Ozzy is saying. Well, but do you notice, though, Hecate, that when he sings, his voice is actually very clear versus his speaking voice where he stutters like this? He's done damage to the part of the brain that controls speech, but the part of the brain that actually controls singing is still intact. I actually had a lady in the nursing home some years back that she had trouble. She couldn't speak. She couldn't speak well. She did a lot of stuttering like that because she had a stroke. So instead of trying to talk because it frustrated her, she would sing. Can I have a Coke, please? And it would come out clear. But when she would try to talk, it would be So it's amazing how the brain works, you know. It will definitely alter his neuropathways with all the substance use. Well, you add that, the stutter and the accent, all of it combined, you know. He is absolutely a very funny guy. It's just because I don't think he really, you know, I don't really think he even thinks about what he says. It's just whatever is in his head comes out. Can the term wet brain go into the pile of crap we don't say now, please? Agreed. I'm down for that. What was funny was when Post Malone released a song that Ozzy did the opening for, all those kids were like, this is why we like Post Malone. He's out here giving this old guy a chance. See, that just goes to show that some of these parents is failing these youngins. You know what I mean? Who is the country artist that couldn't speak without stuttering, but he could sing? I don't know. I don't know. He is a cheesehead because he has holes in his brain. Look, you trying to say he's Swiss? I'm amazed Chantal hasn't had a stroke yet. I'm waiting on it. I'm really waiting on it. Foodie is cruising for a heart attack or a stroke at this point. She absolutely is. I mean, I told you guys, she's been playing on borrowed time for a little while, between the blood pressure going unchecked, with the blood sugars going unchecked, with the kidney damage, with the liver issues, the enlarged heart, the CHF, the asthma. A minute, she's a mass casualty event in one body, and it's a matter of time when one of those things is going to get to a point where it pretty much takes her out. Honestly, at this point, and I've said it to Hannibal when we've talked about it, it would take one fall on her part and she will never get back up again. She will be bedbound. Right. And the blood clots. I always leave the blood clots out. I don't know why. I keep overlooking it. Perry Mason's been stuck in my head since last week. I can't get it out no matter what I do. Do you think a stroke or a heart attack will come from the amputation? I mean, there's no ruling that out. I mean, if they amputate something, she's going to be bedbound. She's not going to be mobile, which could make it more likely for her to develop a PE, a pulmonary embolus, which is just a blood clot that's broken free and traveling, We have a media boom for decades with keeping out music that has layers, notes on it that doesn't have commercial sales points, sex, money, power. Yep. She's so swollen she doesn't have knuckles anymore. No, she doesn't. And you would think that all of the things combined would scare her, but they don't. I thought Foodie would have a stroke when FFG saved BBJ. Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised she didn't, just because the amount of how she let it get her worked up. Mel Tillis. Don't think I've heard Mel Tillis. I have to look that one up. Her health is failing faster in Kuwait because she does nothing there. Hasn't learned a lick of the language to be self-sufficient and get outside without Salah. I agree. And she's been told that. And she keeps saying, well, I'm learning at my own pace. It's like you actually have to learn at your own pace. And you learning the names of a couple of foods and saying Yalla and Bismillah and what else, that's not learning the language, Old school country, Mel Tillis. It was probably, probably not nearly as nasty as the Cuba Rage, but it's up there, top 5, no question. Trying to get an IV for IV access, another issue in an emergency situation. They'll end up planting one in her tibia. Just drilling one in and calling it done. Because they're not going to make all that effort to try to find one. Oh. Foodie knows insults and swear words. Well, honestly, it's going to sound bad, but when I learned sign language, the very first thing that we were taught was cuss words. No, not a port. It's called an intraosseous vascular access. And what they do is they take a needle. It's kind of like a drill, but it's got a catheter on it. And what they do is they drill into the bone, into the portion of the bone in the middle, that spongy part. And they use that to administer fluids and meds and all that stuff through. The EMS folks really enjoy doing that to people, actually. They don't get to do it often, but when they do, they kind of dig it, Chantal isn't living in Kuwait right now. Salah could pack up the house, the pets, and get gone. Block her number and be done with her. He absolutely could. And actually, Allah was saying that if she would be gone for a couple of months, that he thinks that Salah will come to his senses and realize just how stupid this whole situation is, and that he'll back out of things. But I guess we'll have to see, Iraq could learn your language faster, and she's picking up the Arabic words that she does know. Quite true. I think she believes Canada will get her out of Kuwait if war happens. Don't count on it. Absolutely not. Hey, Justin Trudeau will be like, sorry about your luck. I say, let her go back to Kuwait. She won't listen to anyone. Let her find out the hard way. I agree. Now, see, Mr. Cooper taught our sign language class. And, that was the very first thing that he was like, the first thing I'm going to teach you is the cuss words, because there are a lot of curse words that are similar to other words. He says, you're not going to want to use the wrong word and get knocked in your teeth because you've called somebody's mama a bitch by accident. Because you've got mom, and then the word bitch. So stuff like that. And he was like, this is where we're going. He's like, y'all laugh if y'all want to. I don't care if y'all use those words. He's like, you can even tell people I taught you those words. He's like, and I'll explain if I have to. He's like, but this is what we're doing. Use the IV ultrasound in a hospital to access the veins. The power ports are used more now. Power ports work with CT and MRI imaging with contrast. True. That's true. But I mean, if you're talking about like, if she has to have rescue services, that's why I was thinking they were going to go intraocular on her, because they're going to be trying right before they ever even get her loaded it up into anything to transport her. They're going to be trying to establish something. And EMS loves their toys. He absolutely was. God bless him. He was always a very sweet fella. There's a lookalike sex doll sitting in the apartment when she goes back, and it takes her a week to figure out it's not him. That's funny. The Reginald. She'll know as soon as her family meal doesn't show up. If she could be bothered to just look at Canada and Kuwait's embassy policies on their websites, she might be much more careful in the way she behaves in Kuwait. I doubt it. She seems to think that she thinks she's 10 feet tall and bulletproof. She's gotten away with so much while she's been in Kuwait, even though she shouldn't have. That she probably thinks it's going to be ongoing. But eventually it is going to come back to her. There's going to be something that she's going to do or something that she's going to say that is going to bite her on the ass, I mean, you can only get away with doing dirt for so long before it comes back around to you. Foodie is a firm believer in karma, saying everybody's going to get their karma. Well, eventually karma is going to come for her. That's just the way that it goes. It's that way for everybody. What you put out is what you get back. She thinks she's untouchable. One day though, right? Just a matter of time. We'll be here to get some snickers out of the whole thing, give us some laughs. Be like, ha ha, I told you, Nobody in Kuwait watches her till Takat, so she got away with a lot. True. She thinks are the operative words. The newest embassy updates scare me, and I'm not going to travel nowhere. Ooh. Then she plays the victim. Let's see. You're talking about the Kuwait, the one in Kuwait. Let's see. What section are you talking about, Sal? Karma has come for her. It's working slowly on her. Declining health, declining channel. She's having her tarot card moments as we speak. That's a good point. Foodie is so ignorant about life. Everything is a game of what can I get away with today. Quite true. And there's going to come a point where the next thing she does, she's not going to be able to get away with. Wait. Here's an interesting one. We're going to read this one because this one's one that we've talked about here. Look at this one. Death abroad. Steps to follow when a loved one dies abroad. Refer to death abroad. Identify a representative for the deceased. Notify the deceased person's insurance provider. Find a funeral home. Determine which federal programs and departments must be informed, depending upon the deceased person's situation or place of residence. Cancel the deceased benefits, including old age security, Canada pension plan, employment insurance, tax-related payments, personal information, and social insurance number. Check with the government of the country where the death occurred to determine what steps are needed next, especially if the deceased was living there and receiving benefits or had local documentation that may require further action. Here we go. You must obtain an official death certificate from the authorities in the country where the death occurred. The funeral home chosen in the country where the death occurred may be able to obtain the official death certificate and register the death according to local laws. You should ask for several copies of the death certificate as it may be required at a number of stages. If a death certificate is not in English or French, it must be translated. Some countries will require the death certificate to be authenticated by the local Ministry of Foreign Affairs before the funeral arrangements are carried out. It may also need to be authenticated by the nearest Canadian government office abroad if it is needed for insurance or for the repatriation of the remains. Delays in obtaining an official death certificate may occur for various reasons, especially when autopsies or toxicologies are required, which she'll probably have to have. Some countries will require Canadian documents such as the deceased long-form birth certificate and Canadian marriage certificate be legalized there before the remains can be released to the funeral home and for the next of kin or representative to claim the remains. Transport internationally, the remains of the deceased must be accompanied by the copy of their death certificate, which includes the cause of death. Other documents may be required depending on the country of origin and the destination of the remains. These may include the canceled passport of the deceased, cremation or embalming certificate, letter of the sending funeral provider, registration of death, permit to transfer, letter confirming that the deceased did not carry communicable disease at the time of death. Here you go. Consider local limitations. Some countries may have few or no facilities for embalming and preparing remains for transport. Be aware of the rules of processing for returning remains to Canada. Find qualified funeral homes. Airline regulations may vary for the repatriation of remains. Let's see, what's the cost? Does it say? No, not even an estimate. How about that? Let's see. Let's see what else we got. That's the Canadian embassy. This is information from the one in Kuwait. So here's what we got. That's what we got. Now we know exactly what kind of hoops her family's gonna have to jump through when she keels over dead. Hannibal Karma is the party texting her friends fuck around and find out to join in on the fun. They'd bury her there within 24-hour requirement. Okay. So the question is if she keels over dead and she's only in her 40s, they would probably end up having to do an autopsy and all that stuff on her, though, right? Before they chucked her in a hole. They may not be able to ship her body back if they don't embalm her. She can't be shipped back. Muslims don't embalm their bodies. Well, with what I figure, and it's a good question and probably not one I can answer, is with a lot of expats over there, wouldn't they have facilities like that for people that are expats that will end up repatriated back to their country of origin, though? Hell, we aren't going on a cruise because of gang violence in the Bahamas. Like 6 people were shot about 2 blocks from the port last week. The whole world has gone to hell in a handbasket. Agreed. Canada will not help one of their citizens in the event that they're arrested by the local government of the country they're visiting. Well, and I mean, given the fact that it was the citizen that made the issue to begin with, that makes sense to me. But, you know, and in Kuwait, that's not great. They have different beliefs. The cost of body transport or whatever depends on the local government. Oh, okay. All right, then. She's going to be in a mass grave, y'all. Unless she is on her way there, I don't think she will make it back. I don't think so either. There are literal refrigerator trucks that do nothing but transport dead bodies. Yep. They would wash, wrap, and bury her there. A casket for a person her size is $1,700 to $4,000. Wow. So is Kuwait open to commercial airlines at the moment? Based on what Foodie's saying, yeah. Doubtful. Looking at her, a corner would just say she's fat and toss her in the hole. That's funny. I would say offer her a Viking burial, and then they would just have to burn trash floating off the shore. That's a good point. Especially, her family doesn't have the money to ship her back. I don't think so either. Well, at least she would have one bath in her life without beeps. That's wrong, but that's funny. Salad is going to leave her in the desert. We care about this too much. I just think it's interesting to learn. I mean, the whole conversation about it all is ideally, don't none of us really care what ends up happening to her body after she dies. You know what I mean? The only people that are really going to have any feeling about all that is her people. But, those of us out here, we're just curious to see what the options are, Hi, Boo. Hello, Boo Man. You getting tired, buddy? You getting tired? Oh my goodness. I see you. Thank you. You're a sweet boy. She's not married. That's another desert leave. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's the Boos. It's the little Boo Mans. Hi, Boo. Hi, Boo. I see you. I see you. Hey, Boo. Bella says hi. Bella says hi. Look right here. Look right here. Show them your pretty face. Oh, my goodness. Show me that pretty face. He is actually a beautiful regret. He is. He's fully black. He's got some kind of like a hint of red undercoat, but yeah, he's black. He's a spoiled boy though. He's our ASMR specialist. There are times when we're on live where he'll lay down on the desk here and he'll go to sleep and his little motor will idle while we're talking. Every one of the Salty Pride has their own work duties. His is the ASMR specialty. Let's see. In the state of Florida, you yourself can bury your family member without any treatment of the body if it's done within 24 hours. There are a few other rules, but okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, we did Mom's. We buried part of Mom's, her ashes. I don't know if that applies to ashes or if that's just like body. Like body, like a whole body. Mama saying that nothing is going on in the Middle East, something to that effect was very frustrating. Well, I mean, he doesn't pay attention to anything, stuff like that, All of this death talk is making me. My mom has been transferred to long-term care, and she is now in the final stages of life, and I've been forbidden to see her. At my sister, aka Foodie Beauty 2.0, and Dad. I'm so sorry, Gail. That sucks. They need to quit being assholes about things and let you make your peace with her. All commercial flights in that region are being diverted or redirected at the moment until they close the airspace. If they close it. She's playing. I'm telling you. All the states have religious exemptions for that too. Jews have similar burial practices. Muslims. Before my dad passed, he had a cemetery. He made a cemetery on his property. Well, that's interesting. I'm surprised. My dad's ashes are in the Gulf in Sarasota, and we used a sailboat at sunset. See, we did something similar. Part of my mom's, like a third of hers, went to the cemetery where my grandparents are buried and some of my mom's other family. So we put some of them there so that she could be with her mom. And then the other remaining portion, it's in the Gulf. Hey, Capone. He had to register it with the county. that's cool. Well, I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing to be able to keep all your people close to you, especially if you have your own property, you know. So the extra time and effort to get to Kuwait would be tough for her. I'm hoping she's going to realize that before she does something stupid. Well, I mean, was that your dad's wishes? You know, my mom didn't really do a whole lot of designation on hers, but we decided to do that with hers because, you know, the beach was her church, you know. Oh, good gracious. All right, y'all. We'll save enough. I guess there's nothing wrong with it then. At least you know that he kind of ended up where he wanted to be. I guess there's nothing really wrong with that. All right, y'all. So we have been at this almost 4 hours. When my mom passes, I was told I will never know. I'm sure you could find out, even if they're saying that. I'm sure you could find out. There you go. That's how you work it out. You get somebody to create a diversion, and you do your thing. Slide on in there when nobody's around. So we've been at this almost 4 hours. So what I'm going to do, because it is 11:30 at night where I'm at, which means there's no telling what time it is where y'all are, but I know y'all have got to get up and be reasonably functioning, self-sufficient human beings tomorrow. So I'm going to let everybody go so they can actually go to bed and get some decent rest. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys hanging out with me tonight. I had a good time as always. I'm so glad that we were able to talk about a little bit of everything. I did want to tell you guys to be on the lookout for merch. I got the ever so talented Nutty helping me do some work on some graphics. And I will be having those up fairly soon, I hope. So I will post about that when the happenings gets in the works, when everything is sorted through and everything is ready to go with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. I hope tomorrow is even better. Remember, take care of you. Hug the ones you love. And remember to hydrate, 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 because you are basically just a house plant with more complex emotions. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. See you again soon. Bye, y'all.